Hi there, my name is Aaron Short. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I thought I had a cat here, but I don't. Today is January the 5th, 2022, and I'm coming at you from outer space. I've actually been to visit Pooh Ninja, who's often in our chat here, and I've been at his house today for a cup of tea. We both enjoyed tea from a Soundhole Sniffer mug, which you can purchase from my Teespring store. Link is in the description below to support the channel. Wonderful peppermint tea today. Had no coffee lately. I'm off the coffee for a while. And yeah, I've got so many things to talk about today. I don't even know where to begin. I really should have made some kind of plan. What's happened is, and I'll go back over this once people have arrived, but what's happened is, because there's no NAMM as such, there's going to be a 1-day or 2-day virtual NAMM event, which is free for everyone. You can go to the NAMM site right now and sign up to join in that show. I've done it already. You'll have the opportunity to access the website and also have one-on-one sessions with companies. If there's a company you want to talk to about a possible purchase or a question about your gear, you can talk to the company. That's what they did last year. But last year, there wasn't many releases. There was a few that released around that time. And what's happened this year is everything is just flooding out. So rather than wait for that event, which they've realized I think is quite a small virtual event, no offense, but you know, it's not the NAMM show. They are just releasing stuff now. And PRS were always doing this anyway. They didn't wait for the NAMM show. I think they often had a pre-show a week before. Because as wonderful as trade shows are, what tends to happen is everything is released at once and everything kind of goes under the radar. So what can happen now is each day a different company, different brand can release a new product. So we've already seen multiple releases of gear and it's only day 5 of 2022. I knew 2022 would be a big year for gear, but it's gone way beyond my expectations. Of course, I should knock on wood because maybe things will slow down and it won't be a big year for gear. But so far, this is quite insane. And we have a lot to talk about. If you've seen anything released this week, let me know in the chat and I'll bring it on as well. But I'll go over a few things to warm up that I've seen and heard about, and then we'll move into the big ones, which are new Martin guitars, which were I say leaked. They're not really on the website yet, but they released a video early of new models that are coming out. We'll go over those that I saw. Also, the big one is that PRS Silver Sky SE. All the information is now out, and I'll go over my thoughts on that. And I'll also reveal the winner from the other week when we did the competition, who can get the closest to the price. And that's just blown me away. It's so affordable. It's nuts. So I'll talk about that. And then I'll also let you know if I'm going to get one. And then finally, I want to talk at some point about gear prices. I think Maury and myself were saying last year, if you want some gear at that time, you should buy it. And I didn't want to feel like we were saying, go and spend your money. But what I was saying was prices do go up every year, and they certainly have this year. I've seen multiple price increases on several big brands already. And of course, they don't talk about it. You just go on the website one day and you realize, oh, that's really gone up in price. So we'll talk about that and how we feel about that as well. So lots to talk about today. I want to keep it to no more than 2 hours at least. So I'll try to do segments here for the start of the show, and I'll try to put timestamps so people can go to those products. And then I'll do Q&A when I'm done, you know, as long as we can. Maybe an hour and a half if you stick around for Q&A. So it was crazy. First of all, Happy New Year. It was really crazy. I was sitting watching the New Year's Eve parade fireworks on the TV, and I was on my phone as well, as I always am. I'm sure you know what I mean. And I saw a post on YouTube from Cole Clark, and Cole Clark released a new preamp. And I was like, what? It's New Year's Eve. And I realized, oh, it must be New Year's Day where they are. But even so, New Year's Day, a Saturday, is such a weird time to release a new product. But anyway, I don't care. I'm a big fan of acoustic guitars and amplifying them. A big fan of the Cole Clark preamp. I have a video review on my channel, which you can go and watch later. And they've made it supposedly even better. Now, I've got one coming to me. I'm going to have to install it in the guitar. I'll put it in the Fat Lady 2, the big guitar that I bought used. I'm going to put it in there. And just a quick bit about that. I was wrong. when they announced it, they said they've made a few improvements. Supposedly, I say supposedly because I won't know until I've used it myself, but this is what they're saying, and I have no reason to believe otherwise, but of course, gear is all subjective, personal opinion. The microphone is improved. The frequency range is improved between some of the pickups. Probably the wrong term, but they've tweaked that. And the big one is there is now a battery light, so you can see when you have low battery, which is always a great thing on a stage guitar, even though those batteries last me like a year, the Cole Clark, so it's not even really an issue. But I think having the battery life is a benefit to a performer, or anyone. And there's now a button as well, which I believe can be installed or not installed, which will take you between the old kind of sound, but with the new mic. There's a new mic in there, so the old sound, but with the new mic, so it's basically the old sound, or the new sound. And that's for customers that have had guitars for so long, they don't want to have something radically new in their guitar. So that makes sense, I get that. But you can also install it without that switch on the plate, so you just have the new sound. Or the old sound, I guess. You can just have that button pressed how you want it, and then leave it in. Oh no, when you press the button in, you get the old sound. So you would put it over and have the old, I don't know. I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure about that, so I won't comment on that. But the way it works is, and what I was wrong about, is it's not a free upgrade. It's a free upgrade if your preamp has the battery light on it. If your preamp has the battery light on your Cole Clark, that's a newer preamp, and that has the technology in it already to just replace the faceplate to allow access to that button that you need to switch it to the other mode. That's free. If you have an old preamp like me, unfortunately, this is one of the downsides of buying used. If I bought new at the time, well, actually, if I bought new at the time, I don't think I would have got the newer preamp because the shipments are so slow to come with those newer guitars, and it's quite a recent thing. But I've seen a few guitars on Reverb, actually one guitar on Reverb that has that new preamp. And if you don't have that new preamp and have the old one like I do, it's a $400 upgrade, which I still think is great that you can do it, but it is $400. And of course, it may be cheaper just to buy a new guitar, depending on where you shop and where you buy. I'm just glad it's possible. You just have to drill 2 holes in the side of the guitar, which is where you would have the light and the button. You also have to add a little bit of a sanding to the battery compartment because the door's slightly larger now. But it can all be done, and they've sent me one, and I'm going to put it in that guitar. Well, I don't know if I'll put it in the guitar because I'm not great at that stuff. I might ask my my guitar tech if he'll do it. I think he'll hate me. I'm dreading asking him. And obviously I have to pay to do it, but I think I'd like him to do it. But yeah, I don't like doing that stuff. I like getting the guitar done at the factory that's all done properly and haven't got to worry about anything, and they've tested it. But anyway, I want to try that new preamp, and shipments are kind of slow right now because of everything that's going on. So that seems a good way to try that out. So that was the first thing. That was New Year's Eve. Absolutely insane. And then I saw a few other things coming out. There's some Ibanez, a new wireless system, some new accessories, and some other companies release stuff. This week is CES, and Samsung are releasing a guitar with LEDs in the fretboard and an app to help you learn the guitar. I'd love to check that out. Not that I need to learn the guitar. Actually, maybe I do. But I'd love to check that out because I love the whole technology aspect of that stuff. So this is crazy. Already all this stuff. And then Sweetwater have a video with Corey Congilio, who's been on the channel, a friend of the channel, and he's demoing new Modern Deluxe models. Now, I'd heard on the grapevine about a D45 Modern Deluxe. I think someone said they saw one in the factory that I was talking to. It was just a rumor of a rumor. But there is indeed a D45 Modern Deluxe, a D42 Modern Deluxe, a 00018 Modern Deluxe, and there may be more. I don't know, because this was just like a preview. But that's really interesting. Now, I'm not personally a huge fan of that line. I've only played a couple. Maybe I would be a fan if I played more. I don't want to write it off completely when I haven't played them. I'd love to check them out. I like the pickup in the electric versions because it's using the new Aura HD technology. But I find it very interesting they've done that. And what does that mean? Does that mean that production is picking up now that they're putting time into that? Or does it mean those guitars were made a year ago and were not released because of distribution and the pandemic, and they've been sitting in the warehouse? Who knows? Perhaps we'll find out one day from Martin if they come on the show again. But wow, I've been talking for 10 minutes already, and I hadn't even got to the fact that then the Silver Sky was announced yesterday, And what else? I'm missing something. It's just crazy. And then the whole thing with the gear prices, which I'll talk about. So all this stuff is just, for gear fans, it's great, but it's just so much to talk about. But before I go into any more, I'll go to the chat and say hi. So David was first. Good to see you, David. Hi, Aaron, everyone in the chat. Hope your day is off to a good start. It is. I think I'll enjoy this episode because there's lots to talk about. Jim says a big hello from Vermont. Good to see you, Jim. Patsy Smith is here. Brad Miller's here. Afternoon, Aaron Short Music. Hang out at work. Tampa Airport. What do you do at the airport, Brad? Was it you that told me about Emerald guitars in the chat, in the comment section the other day? I'll definitely check them out at some point. My plan is to check out everything at some point, but my plan is to either have sponsorships and do, promotional videos for companies or with companies, work with them, or buy used. That's my plan for the next kind of 12 months. And then ultimately the long-term goal is to do sponsored videos for products that I actually think are worth talking about. But I never even played one. Maybe if I go to NAMM in June, they'll be there. I think a lot of companies won't go in June, but if some will, and if they do go, I'll definitely check them out there. Although NAMM isn't the best place to play a guitar, as we know, too noisy. Jim says it has to get better. Yeah, it's a funny time, especially where I live. But I think fingers crossed things will get better soon. David Belcher says hi to Jim and Patsy, and Chazza says hi guys. I can't stay. I'm going to a restaurant. Well, that's great. Can I come with you? I watch the replay when I get back. Okay, great. That's great. You'll be full of food then, and you'll enjoy the show more. Question from Jim. I'll come to that at the end, Jim. Remind me later. And Kookie's here. Kookie's working on some new IR stuff, and I'm going to check that out for him. But I apologize, Kookie. When you sent it to me last night, I was at a gig, and then today I'm doing this and then a gig. So I'll probably look at that tomorrow morning, okay? And I'll get back to you. But I'm very excited to try that out. All right, so shall we begin with the Martin Modern Deluxe guitars? Oh, 1 second. Okay. I'll just show you what these are in case you don't know what I'm talking about. Martin Modern Deluxe guitar. I'll tell you my history with these as well. I'll tell you my thoughts on them. Oh, Poo Ninja's watching the replay. Poo Ninja, I came to outer space to see you, and you're going to a meeting. So what? You're going back to Earth, and I'm in outer space. I don't believe this. Okay, fine. Okay, so let me just take you over to my my desktop here. All right, so a new Martin cap. This is the Modern Deluxe series. So this is like your high-end, top-of-the-line, new modern thing, but still a classic Martin. It looks very much like a vintage Martin. Okay, the new ones aren't on here yet. So right now you can get a D18, a D28, an OM28, a 0028. So a bit of history with these then. They were announced a few years ago, and I was really excited. I thought this is exactly what I want, because I love the traditional Martin look and everything. And I also like modern appointments. So these actually have Evo gold fret wire. So where your traditional fret wire, the nickel frets can wear down, these ones actually last a long time. They're not as hard as stainless steel, but they are harder than nickel. They'll last you a long, long time. Okay, so I was really excited about that. I don't have to take a guitar and have it refretted with these frets. I can just buy it off the shelf with these frets. Secondly, they have some really nice looking appointments, like the glossy headstock and the gold foil logo. I love all that stuff. If you watch my channel, you know I love that stuff. I'm a big fan. Nice tuners, and then inside there's some modern things, like you've got the carbon fiber sandwich bridge plate, and all this like subtle modern stuff that doesn't look like, say, your carbon guitar, but makes this traditional looking guitar more of a modern thing. That will be great, I thought, for stage and very stable and sound even bigger than the traditional ones. It's got the liquid metal bridge pins. Lots of new technology, but still a very classic looking guitar. Now, of course, for that stuff, you have to pay for it. So you can see the prices here. I'm a much higher end than the standard series. You're paying $1,000 to $1,500 more for the pickup, which is great, by the way. You're paying an extra kind of $600, I believe. So, you know, these are not cheap guitars. So as soon as the D28 Modern Deluxe was announced, I ordered one from Sweetwater. This was a few years ago when they first announced them. And I just wasn't really sure about it. It wasn't kind of what I expected sonically. And the one I got had a rattle. It had like a loose truss rod inside. And so for that reason, I returned it. I never made a video about it. I don't really make videos about stuff that I don't like or is kind of has a problem, unless I feel that problem is something that I can talk about and will help other people. I just thought I just got a bad one, so I returned that. And then at the start of the lockdown, I reviewed the D18E for Maury. That was the first guitar I got from Maury to do like a collaboration with him. And I liked it more, actually. Even though I'm a fan of Rosewood, I liked that guitar more. And I was really impressed with the pickup. But as I'm kind of more of a Rosewood, generally more of a Rosewood fan, I didn't end up buying that guitar. But it was good. It was good. The necks on these are also thin. And I thought at the time this will be great because the neck is thin and I like thin necks. But actually the shape of the neck I couldn't really gel with. Now, whether that's because it's too thin or because I'm used to the standard series neck and other necks, I don't know. So I'm kind of on the fence. I don't want to say these aren't for me. I want to say that I need to play them more. But one thing I did find with all the Modern Deluxe guitars that I played is they're more on the vintage warm tone scale. They don't kind of have that cut that I like, that a lot of the modern Martins have. And even the Authentics have. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the extra bass the bridge pins give on these guitars. I don't know. But there's just a few things that don't make me really gel with them. But they are releasing more models. I'd like to try them. I don't know who the market is for, though. I mean, a D45 is kind of surprising to me. A D45 Modern Deluxe, that's going to be very expensive, of course. I'm not sure. If you're going to buy one, let me know in the chat if you're going to buy one, because I'd love to know your thoughts on this as well. This is just my opinion. I was thinking one thing that could be cool would be like the SC13E in a Modern Deluxe version. That I would be interested in, especially with the new pickup, because that would be a really interesting, like, modern Martin stage guitar. That could be different. I don't know. I don't know. My thoughts are mixed on this. This isn't what I was expecting to see. I was expecting to see a new SC28E or other models. I wasn't expecting to see new Modern Deluxe guitars, even though I'd kind of heard about them. But then again, like I said, maybe these have been in the works for years. Maybe these were around for a long time and have been sitting there waiting for this release, because you have to plan your release time, right? So that could be what it is. So yeah, the only ones I've seen so far, and let me know if you've seen others, is the D45 Modern Deluxe. And by the way, the headplate logo on that looks really cool. I mean, it has to, right? It's a D45 Modern Deluxe. I think a 0018, which I'm sure Kooky will be interested in because he's a mahogany guy, and a D42. So interesting, they're doing the D42 and the D45. I don't think they come with electronics. I haven't heard about that. This was really just a preview that they put up on Sweetwater. I'm wondering if they should have even put that up there because they're not even available yet. And once they are available, we'll take a closer look at the specs and hopefully demo some when Maury's on the show as well, if he gets some in stock. So I don't know. Let me know in the chat what you think about these. I'm going to bring a comment on the screen. So Kooky says the same thing. The Modern Deluxe neck is too thin for my taste. Well, do bear in mind, though, you own a V-neck guitar. I do wonder with this stuff, do we get so used to the neck of a guitar that when we pick up something else, it's completely different? And it's too different to us? Is that what happens? Like, if you started with a Modern Deluxe neck, and then someone handed you 3 years later the V-neck guitar you have now, would you say, oh, no, oh man, it's too wide, it's too fat, I can't play this? And if you played a V-neck as a child, and then when you're 16, they give you a Modern Deluxe, would you say, oh, this don't feel right to me, it's too thin? Is that what happens? Is it our hand shape? I mean, I have big hands, so you think I'd enjoy a V-neck. The neck on my Rain song is on the larger side, and at first I thought I hated it, but now I love it. I probably wouldn't change it to a thinner neck, to be honest. I just like the way that feels. for me, there is like a general area. So the standard series Martins and that Rain Song and the Aussie guitars are kind of in that area of necks that I like. But I do wonder how much of this is we get used to something. I don't know, but yeah, I would prefer the Modern Deluxes, I think, if they had the standard series neck and if they sounded a bit more like, actually, I like the sound of the standard series, what can I say? But I would like a standard series with the gold fret wire and the modern appointments, I think. That's what the custom shop is for, though, right? That's why we have a custom shop. Hi, CGD GCD. All right, David says, I think the other models mentioned were a 0028 and an 028 12 fret slotted headstock. Oh, there's even more. Am I right, David? There's a 00018, a 0028, an 028, a D42, and a D45. 5 new models. I'm guessing that is the NAMM lineup for the year. That's the big new releases, I'm guessing. Kooky says, I want the 00018V with the good old mod V-neck. So you want the modified V. S. Willis, how you doing? Good to see you here. Brad is the same with electric guitars. Not a fan of the V-neck shape. Yeah, I briefly had a Fender. Ed, the guy from Radiohead. He has a really cool Mexican Fender, really affordable. Had the Sustainiac in it, which I really wanted to try. And that guitar arrived from Sweetwater, and it was so good looking, and it was so well made. I was like, this is incredibly well made. This is made better than some of the American Fenders that I've played. But the thing with that guitar is it was heavy because of the sustainer, I guess, and it was a heavy piece of wood. And also the neck was chunky. It was really fat. And I just didn't know if I'd ever bond with it for that reason. But again, my main Strat, the blue one, has a kind of in-between neck. So is that this, that I'm so comfortable with that? I'm so used to that. Is that the reason? Would I eventually get used to these things? Maybe I need to stick with a guitar with a fat neck and see if I get used to it in time. Kooky says, I guess the MLO is better with 1 11/16. Yeah, nut width doesn't bother me. Like on the Mayer guitars, I used to think I hated 1 11/16 because of forums saying that. Or a lot of people on forums would say, oh no, I can't play those. I have to use 1 3/4. So that kind of got in my mind and that influenced me. But honestly, I'd be pretty hard pressed to even tell the difference, to be honest. I mean, maybe if I was finger picking in a certain position, but to me, that's a very close difference where the necks can be a noticeable difference physically, right? Physically, the necks can be big, right? Mario says, hello, Aaron. Have you already managed to upgrade your Cole Clark pickup? Unfortunately, my 3-0 pickup no longer allows me to upgrade for free. Yeah, I was just talking about that, Mario. Go back and check out the start of the show later on. But to quickly sum that up, I've got one on the way, and I'm gonna sacrifice the guitar I have. I'm gonna drill the holes and extend the battery compartment, and I'm gonna upgrade it. I'll either do it myself if I feel brave with the drill, or I'll pay someone to do it, the guy that does my guitars, if he's willing to do it, because it's kind of a little bit fiddly. It's doable, but it's a little bit fiddly. I'm going to do it. So I will let you know in the video if I think it's worth your while buying that new preamp and installing it in your Cole Clark. I think that would be very beneficial to a lot of people. V-neck depends how you play. Exactly, style and where you play and how you play also influences this as well. And maybe sometimes how long you play as well. There's many factors that go into a neck. The neck of a guitar is the thing we talk about the most on all these shows I do. It's, of course, because that's the thing you're holding, right? It's obvious. That's the thing your hand is holding and fretting and playing. That is so important. But I find it fascinating that some people say it doesn't matter. Play the guitar the way it's built. So if it's got a fat neck, play it in a certain way. If it's got a thin neck, play it a different way. And then some people just say, no, I want all my guitar necks to be the same. I don't want to have variation. I find it a very interesting topic. Lewis, Happy New Year, buddy. Good to see you. Let's see those videos in 2022 from both of us, right? Okay, David says, yep, 5 models. Okay, the question is, David, will there be any more Martin models as well as those? Or is that it? Will there be another kind of Robert Getzel Will there be a stage guitar? Bring on the stage guitars, please. Now, this is interesting. This is really interesting because Martin have released very expensive instruments. And this D45 Modern Deluxe, right? I don't know what the D45 Modern Deluxe is going to cost, okay? But if I take you to the web here, I'm going to take you over to Sweetwater for a second. Okay, I've got the floating head, which I like. If I get rid of this chair, I'll just be a floating head on the screen, which could be really cool. D45, right? I had no idea. I didn't even realize what? I mean, no offense, like D45s are fantastic instruments, and it takes a lot of work to create this instrument with this inlay, and I'd love to own one. But I'm guessing that went up in price, right? Or was that always the price? Part of today's conversation is there's been a lot of price increases the last few days for the new year, which is fine. It's normal, right? We'll talk about that. But the point is, the standard series D45 is $9,500. The Modern Deluxe guitar is going to be over $10,000. I mean, I don't think they'll make many of those D45s. I don't think they'll sell very many of those D45s. It's like when they made the retro D45. They didn't really make or sell any, did they? Because you bought a guitar with the holes in it. This one doesn't have the holes in it, but it's going to be so much money because those retro D45s weren't $9,500, I don't think. I think they were less than that. But the Modern Deluxe is going to have to be over $10,000. And for $10,000, you can buy 3 standard series. I would personally rather have 3 standard series Martins than that guitar. Or I would personally, I'm looking eventually, maybe this year's guitar for me is going to be one of the Authentics if I can get one, like a used one. You can buy a brand new Authentic and a standard series Martin for this price. So I would go that route. But that's just me. And, you know, companies have to make high-end stuff. A lot of us, maybe you're not, but maybe a lot of us are thinking, oh good, it's 10 grand for a guitar. How stupid, blah, blah, blah. No, you know, guitar companies have to cater to all markets. And there are people out there that will spend 20 grand on a guitar and think nothing of it. And that's fine. They probably won't sell as many of those as they do the standard HD28. In fact, I know that for a fact. Well, I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty darn sure. I would bet my mug on it. I mean, this mug, but not me. Yeah, you've got to cater to everyone. And that will lead us into the next topic of the Silver Sky SE, right? But you've got to cater to everybody. And we'll see. We'll see. And you know, some of this stuff is a status thing as well, isn't it? Like we're going to make a guitar like this for that kind of price. And by the way, I don't know the price. Maybe it'll be the same as this. Maybe it'll be less. I really doubt it. But we are now starting to see prices go over 10 grand. You know, we're seeing those really cool new Gibsons that they're making that are around $8,000. And you're seeing the Authentic Martin series aged guitars around $8,000, $9,000. The thing is, if you're going to go out and buy those guitars on the used and vintage market, you're going to spend $30,000. So it's still a good deal if you're in the market for that thing. Of course, most people won't be even looking at that because for that price, you can get the Modern Deluxe D28 for $4,000, right? Or you can get a D28 for $3,000. So there you go. Or an HD28. How much is an HD28 these days? I notice some of these prices have gone up. And again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just letting people know and let you be aware. This is 32. I think was it 32 before? I'm not sure. I've seen some. I saw the Taylor guitars, the 414, because I was looking at that last year, and that was $2,600, and now it's $2,800, give or take a cent or two. So that's gone up $200 since the start of the year. Now I get it, you know, everything has to go up. Sometimes I laugh about this stuff with people because I say, like, as a working musician, it's very hard to put your money up like that, and we should do. I believe working musicians should put their money up, but I pretty much charge for a bar now what I was charging in 2010, or what I hope to get in 2010 whenever I could, is not that far off what I charge now. And when you look at the price of an HD28 in 2010 and an HD28 now they are different guitars, and I think the guitars are better now than they were then. I like the new spec, as you know. I'm a big fan of the standard series HD28, but they've gone up a lot. And when you think what I charge for a gig hasn't. So, by the way, I'm not saying that's good or bad either. I think the point I'm trying to make with that really is that musicians should put their prices up as well, because everything goes up in price. I'm just trying to say I haven't got a problem with this, but everything obviously should reflect that as well. And that's going to lead me now into the flip side of this point I'm going to make. There's a lot of really awesome, affordable gear coming out. And Martin did this backwards, because they released the SC13E, which has been a huge hit and was quite affordable, right? I don't know if that's gone up in price. I don't think it has. Let me just see. SC13E. 16, has that gone up? Or was that the same? I don't know. My memory's not good for this kind of thing. I just know a lot of stuff has gone up, but this is 16, right? So this was an affordable stage guitar, considering the other prices we're looking at. So they came out with this a few NAMMs ago, and that was great. Everyone loves it, right? But then they've now released those Modern Deluxes, which are on the expensive, what's the word? The least affordable side, the expensive side, whatever you want to say. But other companies are doing the opposite. Fender released the Ultra guitars, which are kind of their Modern Deluxe guitars, for around $2,300. And then a few months ago, they released the Mexican versions, the Player Series guitars, which were around $1,000. I played one at Guitar Center. It was great. Maybe some things about those guitars are better. Think about the Acoustasonic, right? An American Acoustasonic is $2,000. The new Mexican Acoustasonics are $14 or whatever it is. So you save $600. You save a substantial amount of money. So they've gone the other way. They're now releasing the affordable ones. They released the expensive ones, and now the affordable ones. Martin released an affordable one, now the expensive ones. And so it goes, right? It goes in a circle, of course. It goes in a loop. So the cool thing I'm going to talk about next is the Silver Sky SE. Right, so as you know, I'm a big fan of John Mayer. I like John Mayer's music a lot. And a lot of people knew this was coming. And I've got another story about the Silver Sky, which I'll tell in a second. Let's just do some comments here so I stay up to date. Says, Mario, why upgrade? Seems the difference is just a contour. Some EQ and crossover tweaking. It might not be better. Well, I try not to get carried away with this stuff, Kooky, because often I think, a new product from a company, it's going to be better. And it's not. That's happened to me a lot. Look at what happened with the Fishman F1 Plus in the Martins, the Aura system that they changed to the enhanced system, that to some people wasn't enhanced at all. They preferred the old system. So I'm completely aware of that. And I do have high hopes, because I do feel that there's a bit of a mid-range bump, honky sound in the Cole Clark system, which I often EQ out. And they told me that that's fixed that. So that's a good place. They're saying now you can set it flat. You don't need to EQ it out. That's a cool thing if they've done that. If it sounds more natural. Someone said on the Facebook group it sounds bigger, even bigger than it does now. They've said they've improved the microphone. So I think it will be an improvement. And my fingers are actually crossed it will be, because I like the company. I like the pickup. And there are the things they're saying they're fixed are the things that I feel could have been fixed. I think it will be an improvement. I'm excited for it. But that's why I have the channel, and Mario doesn't have to worry. I'm going to do that for him. I'm going to put it in my guitar. I'm going to make the video, and I'm going to tell you if I prefer it or not. Or I'll tell you at least if I think it's worth you upgrading it. If I love it and there's a noticeable difference, I'll tell you to upgrade it. And if I think it's the same or worse, I will tell you. So that's why I'm here. So don't worry about it. Just wait for my video in a couple of weeks' time. The proof is in the pudding, as they said. Oh yeah, GCD, GD, CD, D, 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 G, D, D is Gus. That's right. Sorry, I forgot. Gus, like Jesus, except that's not Jesus, but still. Actually. Yeah, oh, I see. That is G-Sus tuning, isn't it? Almost, yeah. GD with the C. Sus? Is that why Gus? Let me know. That's on my mind now. Brad Miller, I had a telly bass with a V-neck and I did not like it then. I guess I played differently then. See, that's interesting. You had a V-neck and didn't like it, and now you have a V-neck and you do like it. It's like, what? What's the answer, right? Do I speak more about the neck than acoustic pickups? Yeah, lately. I feel like I've changed a little bit lately. I've done 20 pickup reviews. I'm going to make like a video called What I Learned from Reviewing Over 20 Acoustic Guitar Pickups. And I do have favorites now, and that's all going to be in that video. So I think I am kind of moving into other areas. Exactly, yeah, I'm not even going to say that. But I don't want to belittle it. It is what it is. I have no problem with expensive gear, right? I have no problem with a boutique amp being $5,000. If you love that thing and it's all you're going to buy and you have the money and you want to spend your money on that thing, that's fine. And if it does what you want to do, that's fine. My biggest problem is when you buy something and don't like it, right? And you sell it and you lose money because it didn't do what they said they was going to do. That's what I don't like. For that price, does Martin provide neck? No, it has a truss rod. It doesn't need a neck. Oh, I guess it might need a neck reset in like 15 years, right? Now, a lot of people are talking about this lately. I don't know if Martin have neck resets in their warranty or not. I don't think they do, but I think I've heard someone having it done before. I don't know. That's a good question, though. Try to keep that question on you. Let's try to get Martin on the show. Let's try to get Skip on here around NAMM time and ask him these questions. So keep that one in the bank, Kooky. David says, I love my Martins, but that kind of money, I'll buy a Preston Thompson. Yeah, that's another thing I talk about sometimes with my friends. Like, as much as I love Martin and other brands, you can put that kind of money into a one-off that's built by one person that's been building guitars for 60 years in their workshop from the Brazilian rosewood and stuff. Would you not go that route? I know it's still not got their name on it, but you're going to get something that's probably got higher quality woods, right? Because they can afford to do that. They're working in different conditions. So, oh really, David? Thank you. I thought it had. I was like, that seems a bit more than I remember. So the SC13 has gone up $100. Wow. And that's what we meant in December when we were saying, Maury and myself were saying, if there's a guitar you want, you should buy it now. That's what we meant. There's always going to be price increases in January. I think the 00018 went up $100 as well. I'm still selling my 00018, right, with the pickup. I'm still selling it. That was 25, and now it's 26, and I'm still selling it. I don't know. I think I've just priced mine so low. I want 22 for mine, and I think people just think it's too low. So, we'll see. But as the prices go up, I guess my used one is worth more, right? So maybe it'll sell now. Thank you, Lewis. Cheers. See, here we go. So okay, we'll finish with the Silver Sky. Let's talk about prices for a minute. David says, I pre-ordered the Martin Cherry from Maury back in September when it was $19.99, and now they're $21.99. I mean, it's a big, I gotta say, I don't mind prices going up. Like I said, rent goes up, bills go up, hopefully your wages go up, right? Everything should go up, but to go up $200, and that Taylor did too, $200, that's a big, I think that's a big increase. I mean, $50, $100 a year, 200 overnight. Oof. I do think that's a big increase. Mario, let's say due to the chip crunch, they need to change the circuit to source components. They change it and then claim it is new and thus better. That's true too. Kooky, you're very, what's the word? You can be a little cynical at times, but I appreciate that. And you're absolutely right to think that way. And that is exactly what does happen. Sometimes prices go up because there are shortages, right? And they have to change the chip, and they might use a better chip, and they put the price up. That is what it is, okay? This preamp thing, I don't know. I think they've been working on this for a while, because these have actually been in guitars for like a year and a half. They just had a different faceplate, all right? So they've been shipping them ready to go just to like ramp up. So they've been in for a while, and they would have had to develop that before that as well. I don't think this is a result of the chip shortage at all. And I do believe, and I may have been bad, I didn't say this in my review, but I do feel, especially after I did that review and geeked the guitar a bit, I do feel the mid-range of that system is a bit honky. And when I've already planned when I did my pickup review roundup to mention that, like the Maton system is smoother in the mid-range than the Cole Clark, but the Cole Clark has that awesome body sound from the sensor. But I often find those body sensors to be a bit honky, and I think that's what causes the honk. So I've got my hopeful feeling, I'm being optimistic here, is that they've actually done this for that reason and to make that even better, and not just because they've had a shortage of components. But like I said, I got no, I don't have shares in Cole Clark. I'll tell you when I try it, and we'll find out who was right. But I do like that way of thinking. You have to think like that with gear, because this gear isn't released, all this new gear isn't constantly released because it's better. This gear is constantly released to make money, of course, all right? I was watching Tone King the other day, and he had a quote from Paul Reed Smith that said, Paul Reed Smith apparently once said, you have to keep releasing new stuff. If you don't release new stuff all the time, you're dead as a company. And that completely makes sense, right? You have to keep bringing out stuff, refreshing stuff. You have to keep the money coming in and growing the shares and all this. You have to do all that. So, C-sus2 tuning. Well, yeah, because the root note is a C, I guess, right? If the root note wasn't a C, it would be a G-sus. But that's why I thought his name. I just thought it was a G-sus and his name is Gus. That's why I thought that. So anyway, I'll try and remember your name, Gus. I really like the understated guitar, says Gus. The less bling, the better. For me, open tuners and maybe an aged toner are what appeals to me. My Martin is the best in my opinion. I agree. I don't like over the top either. I love my John Mayer copy because it's a basic OM28, but with the abalone rosette sound hole. That's what I like. Just that little bit of bling. I don't like too much bling. I'm going to finish with the Silver Sky. So I'll just go through comments first. And I'll reveal the winner of who got the closest to the price of that thing. Crazy. My guess for Aaron's favorite pickup. Anthem, the Amulet, installed by Maury. The Dazzo, Gold Plus. I think your own 28JM pickup sounds great. All right, I'll tell you about that then. But if I tell you that, then what's the point of me making my video, right? I'll just skirt around it so people here don't ignore that video. Yeah, the Anthem I would say is my go-to pickup system. I really like the mic. I like having the high end and the smoothness of that mic, and the realism of that mic, and the undersaddle just handled with a crossover. The mic undersaddle handling the bass. I think it sounds really authentic. It feels good to play. And this is something I want to talk about too. The feel of a pickup is something I never really thought about before. But when I play the Maton, which is a similar system, but it's got an even bigger undersaddle, which is built into the guitar, and a mic which does a full range of the thing, but with the bass rolled off, stuck over the top. When I stream with that and play that with the headphones in, when you play a note, it just sounds massive. And you just feel incredible. And as your arm rubs against the satin finish, you hear the squeak of the guitar moving, and it's like virtual reality. It's like you're in the guitar. It's absolutely incredible. It's powerful. Now, other pickups can be decent, but they don't have that power. They can sound pretty good, but they don't have that feel and that power that those systems have. And you'd expect that because those guitars are basically built around the pickup, like the Cole Clark is, right? So some of my favorites actually are the Maton system, the AP5 Pro, for that reason, and the Cole Clark system, which adds a body sensor as well. I do think the Yamaha Red Label system is very good as well, but not as good as those ones, not as powerful as those ones. And then the Anthem is always such an impressive system to me because you can install it into any guitar, and that's incredible. You can't do that with the other systems. The Anthem is the best kind of aftermarket pickup system, in my opinion. I've used it on multiple guitars. I have it on several guitars. It's always never lets me down. Yes, you have to dial in the mic blend or the mic trim level with the tool they provide to get it just right, to be fair. That's not a big deal. Once you got that dialed in, it's good to go. I add a little bit of EQ, makes it even better, and it just sounds great. And I think I have to commend LR Bags for making that system. You know, I honestly prefer that system to even the digital stuff. Like, even the digital stuff that sounds great and sounds really mic-like, I still think that sounds better. When I got the LR Bags VoicePrint DI to try it for them, I said, well, it makes a K&K sound much better. And it doesn't really make an undersaddle sound much better, but it makes a K&K sound really much improved, more like a microphone. But I said to them, like, I actually said this to them, I'm surprised you made this because your Anthem pickup you made is already so natural and so good. Okay, your pedal may add a bit more mic qualities to it a little bit, which you may or may not even want at a show, but you might want for recording. But I was like, you know, the Anthem already sounds great, but I don't really want to change it. I don't want to add pedals to it. Now, the VoicePrint DI is their step into digital, and there'll be more products, like, I'm sure. That's just the beginning, right? And they're going to develop it and add more products, and maybe eventually I'll change that point of view. But for me right now, I don't even need that. I just need the Anthem set up right and EQ'd right in a good guitar, and it just sounds fantastic. And I think that has become my kind of recommendation to anyone that asks me what should I get. But to further your point on the so much to talk about on these shows. And I get so sidetracked. But the Gold Plus in the OM28 I got from Maury recently, the custom shop. I only got that pickup because that's what Mayer has in his guitar. And when I hear Mayer on stage with that guitar, I always think to myself, it's a piezo sound. Why doesn't he use an IR or something? But I was actually making recordings of that for someone in the industry. I won't tell you who it was. I don't want to get myself in trouble or you know, tattletale. But I sent that to someone in the industry pretty high up, and they said to me, that pickup sounds excellent. Like, that's a Gold Plus? It sounds incredible for an undersaddle, and I agree. I think it sounds better than the Element, but it doesn't sound better than the Anthem. And the Anthem is great because those two things work together in a really great way. But the Gold Plus and the Fishman Matrix, they're great systems for what they are, but they're not enough for me. I like having the mic in there. I tell you what, they sound really good when you use a real mic. When you use a real mic and you blend the undersaddle with the real mic, sounds awesome. But we don't always have a real mic. I just thought of another piece of gear I saw too. Neumann are releasing the clip-on guitar mic. You know, like the ones we see, like the DPA. They're making one of those. So you could blend that in with your Fishman Gold Plus. I bet that would sound incredible. So maybe I can check that out as well. But I'm making a video on that, so I'm not going to give all that away in today's show. Your OM28JM custom shop sounds clearly better than your 0018. Yeah, but I don't really like... No, that's not true. I played a 0018 with a big hole in it at Guitar Center, and I thought it sounded great. I played it again a few days later and didn't. And I just... The only mahogany guitars that ever really impress me are like the Adirondack, the Addy, and the mahogany ones. They impress me, but I just find the rosewood stuff just to be, I know, it's just like bigger, and I just like that bigger thing. So I don't think that's a case of those two guitars. I think it's a case of the Tonewoods. I just like the rosewood back and sides over the mahogany. That's just my preference. And I think I would probably find that with any 0018. So I'm kind of done with the 0018 vibe for now. Keep in mind that the new preamp was not developed by Mr. Clark, who works in China. I know, but they have a new guy who is very smart and doing a lot of stuff with them. So let's give him a chance and see what he does. Like I said, this will be very interesting when I do this video on this new preamp. So Clark holds the patent on the original pickup and preamp. Yeah, that's interesting. But it's such a good system, they can't change it completely. S. Willis, thank you, Aaron. On your recommendation, I found a CEO7. I couldn't find a 00 like Maury's. However, my favorite is by far a 000 torrified Boucher with 4A Addy master grade tops. That's nice. So you found a CEO7. Congratulations. They are great guitars. I had one briefly and I really liked it. S. Willis says, I like the Anthem. I think the Anthem is a go-to for a lot of players. It's the K&K or the Anthem. And I think the K&K for the price and what it is amazing. And I wouldn't be upset if it was in one of my guitars. I would make it work for me and I would use it. But as a performing working musician, the anthem is just the one for me. I once played the Bag's lyric on the limit to feedback, and it was huge. A Jimi Hendrix kind of experience. I have attained the volume because everything was ready to blow. Exactly, yeah. That's how I feel about the anthem, especially in a bigger guitar. It gives you that kind of feeling. Like I said with the Maton, you have that feeling of you're better than you are because the sound is really responsive and fat. And I think that's a great, that's what I want. When I play electric guitar, I want a big sound. I want to hit that guitar and it just fills the room. And that's for me what the Cole Clark, the Maton, and the anthem does. Hi Thomas, how you doing? It says, I have a Gold Plus I took out of a Martin. I probably should have kept it in. Moved to a B band who was out of business but a good pickup. Yeah, I tried the B band. I think I still have it in the closet. For me, it was it's like an anthem because it was the Element with a different kind of mic. And I didn't like it as much as the anthem, so I didn't really get the point in it. The GCD is an Orkney tuning from low to high. Okay, so C, G, okay. I'm no expert, but was trying to learn a Martin Simpson song. She slips away and thought the handle was cool. Great song, by the way. I'll check it out. I love hearing people playing alternate tunings, but I don't often do it because it's hard to do on the fly. Retune your guitar and worry about action and everything else. And plus, as Tom Emanuel once said, I'm still learning to play in standard tuning. I've been working long on your Gold Plus recordings and it sounds really better than mine. Both are factory installed. It's a good match. Awesome. I can't wait to try that. I will let you know very soon. Thomas Moore, I have a D18 CE Clarence White, Addy top and quilted mahogany that is outstanding. Oh, sorry, D18 CW for Clarence White. Okay. All right, let's talk about the Silver Sky. First of all, if you're new here, please subscribe and ring the bell. Turn on notifications so you're notified if when I go live or post a new video or talk about pickups. Not just pickups, by the way. There's other stuff coming too. Then again, I suspect everyone in the chat today is here for the pickups, so that's fine. All right, so yesterday... This is now going to be the Silver Sky section. We're talking electric guitars now. All right. I'm afraid a lot of our people here are probably not into electric guitar. Let me know in the chat, by the way, if you like electric guitars or not, because I assume a lot of people who watched my videos like acoustic guitars. I happen to like both. And I'm always looking for both things. I just want something that sounds really big. And when I play live, makes me sound really big. I often play solo shows and three-piece band shows. So I want everything to sound really full and big. So, I'm just looking for the announcement here. The release date is on January, excuse me, on January the 11th, 2022. January the 11th, 2022. It's going to have a poplar body with a bolt-on maple neck and a scarfed neck. I don't know what that means, scarfed neck. Let me know if you know what that means in the chat. A rosewood fretboard with 22 frets. So some of these American ones have maple or rosewood. This will be rosewood. Rosewood is my preference. A synthetic bone nut. So this is how they're saving the money on this build, right? A 2-point steel tremolo. And Mayer keeps his tremolo locked to the body so he can't use it for better sustain and tuning. He doesn't use a tremolo. Oh, sometimes I wish he would, but he doesn't. And it's got the 635 JM-S pickups. Now, I don't know what that means. The pickups in the American Mayer are 635 JM. This new guitar has the 635 JM-S. I wonder what the S stands for. It's a 5-way pickup. The switches and controls look the same to me. It has the same look to the control knobs. Yep. However, unlike the US version, which has the 7... Okay, so this is a big difference. The US version has a 7.25-inch radius. The SE model will have an 8.5 radius. So a couple of questions here, which I'm wondering about, which we'll know more about when they do their videos, of course. We'll know all the reasons for this, but I do know the price. And before I get into that, let me show you the colors it comes in. So you've got evergreen and stone blue. And these guitars have these modern, like cars have these modern colors now, which I wonder if they'll still be popular in 5 years' time. They're not your classic colors. When the Silver Sky first came out, you had like a really nice like red color, which I really wanted, but they sold out. They don't make those anymore. So they've got these kind of Tesla colors that the Silver Skies have, and these are the SE version. So you've got Evergreen, Stone Blue, Moon White, and Dragon Fruit. So I was looking at these and thinking, which one would I buy? And I thought, well, I'm not really into green guitars. Stone Blue is nice, but I've got 2 guitars that are blue anyway. Moon White is kind of cool. It's like a yellow color, it looks like. And then Dragon Fruit, which is kind of red, but not red. So I thought, oh, actually, Dragon Fruit looks nice. So then I found out I found out the price and I went crazy. So if you were watching a few weeks ago, I did a game. I asked the viewers, what is going to be the price of these guitars, right? I'm going to bring it up here. I saved the note. Well, here's what I said. I said, right, a PRS Silver Sky is about $2,600. And it's that price because it's PRS, which make premium guitars, and it's John Mayer. And John Mayer has to get his share of the money, right? It's his artist model. So he has to get a cut. All right. So I said, for that reason, these SEs are going to be $1,359, maybe $1,549. And then David, who watches the show, said, oh, $999. I said, no way. There's no way this will be $999. There's just no way. That's too cheap. They won't make any money. This is PRS and John Mayer. So Mike said $10.99. Mark Henry said $13.39 and 99 cents. And Aaron P said $15.99. So we were all, the lowest we had was $9.99. The most expensive we had was $15.99. Because remember, the American version goes for $26, right? Well, the price of these, hang on. The price of these, if you hadn't heard, is $850. That's incredible. $850. I'm in shock. And we talk about, oh, those prices have gone up. Oh, this price has gone up. Oh, everything's gone up. This Silver Sky is going to be $850. Now, okay, it's not made in America, but it looks pretty darn close to the American guitars, doesn't it? It looks like you wouldn't even know. And I haven't got much experience with SE guitars, so I don't want to say too much until I've tried one. But I think PRS are absolutely going to kill with these. Like, Fender released some affordable $1,000 guitars a few months ago, and they're great, actually. They are great. They have noiseless pickups, and I've played one of them. I loved it. They're cool, and I'm sure they've sold a bunch of them. But to have a PRS John Mayer, of course, maybe you don't like John Mayer, you don't want his signature guitar, that's fine too. His signature is not really on it. It's a Silver Sky, which is a John Mayer guitar, so you're going to associate yourself with John Mayer, I guess. But if you do like John Mayer, and a lot of people do, and you want a PRS, even though it's an SE, you want a PRS guitar, for $850, that's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. $850. So I'm completely blown away. Let me know in the chat what you think. Are you going to buy one? And also, let's talk about the used market. I like to talk about the used market as well on here lately. And if you can wait 12 months and someone buys, like me, maybe buys one of these and then decides they don't like the neck or something about it in 6 months' time, or they need to sell it to pay for the car or something, you'll probably get one of these for what? $650? $500? It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. I'm really impressed. And I also wonder, here's another question. I wonder, like with the Mexican-made Acoustasonic, there's things about that some people would prefer, right? Like, I think Real Ting was saying the battery being non-rechargeable and being a replaceable battery is better. So there's some things about the new guitars people prefer. I wonder if there'll be things about this guitar that some people prefer. That would be really interesting, won't it? Or maybe we'll play them and say, yeah, it feels like a cheaper guitar. I want to save up and get the American version. Who knows? So let's talk about this for a while. And let me know your thoughts. Would you buy one of these for $850? Are you interested at all in this guitar? Thomas Moore always wanted the Silver Sky, so maybe this is the one you want to get. And loves electric guitars. Real Ting likes electric guitars. Ah, here we go. Scarf neck means the headstock is joined onto the neck rather than being one piece. Okay, thank you. I never heard that before. Okay, so does that mean potentially the headstock can break off like a Gibson? Or is it absolutely fine? I've never heard of that term before. He played both, said David. Most well known for the D28 with oversized sound hole, yeah, which Tony Rice owned for many years. Yeah, I remember that one. Oh, Lisa loves it. Hi, Lisa. Love electrics too. Great. That's good. Kookie says, most important, it has the reversed headstock, so the third string is the longest between saddle and tuner, enabling easy bending. Good. Oh, okay. Brad says, Aaron Shaw, S is for the import version of the pickups. All right. So the pickups have the same name, but with an S. So I imagine they'll be the same spec, but made overseas. So the question is, will they sound different, right? Again, if you've had experience with PRS SEs, you'll probably know this stuff. I've owned one PRS in my life. It was a very, very good guitar. This year could be the year of the PRS for me. Thomas Moore says, I played several Silver Skies and all were awesome. I compared it to a custom shop Strat and liked the Silver Sky better. I could never decide on the color and bought an Eric Johnson. Those Eric Johnson Strats are very nice too. I had a red one of those briefly. Lisa's here from San Mateo, CA. That's fine, Lisa. Don't worry about being late. Thomas Moore says, I get the core and pass on the SE. I'm saying that because the core is outstanding. And by the core, you mean the American version, right? And Kookie says, I agree. I tried many and they were all great. Unfortunately, I already have a good Fender Strat. Thomas Moore just got the Fiore. Love it. Way different. Yeah, how's the neck on that, by the way? Is it a thinner neck or a vintage style neck? The Fiore would be great to play as well. Mexican John Mayer was what? What was the Mexican John Mayer? There isn't a Mexican John Mayer. I think the SE to get is Paul's guitar. Yeah, Paul's SE guitar, right. Or the semi-hollow. Those semi-hollows were great last year too, weren't they? I really wanted to try those too. Real Team wants a Fiore, just waiting for a Rosewood version. Oh yeah, because they're maple necks, right? Thomas Moore, I got my son a Santana SE. It's really good. Pooh Ninja says, John, hey Pooh, I thought you were at a work meeting. Get back there. They're going to fire you and you have no money to fly back to my stream. Real Ting, I have a Zach Myers SE. Replaced electronics on it and it's killer. So what, you didn't like the pickups in that it came with? Lewis says, I love all the colors. Aaron, which is your favorite? If I could pick one, maybe the moon white or stone blue. Let me know in the chat. Which one is your favorite? Do you like the green, the blue, the white, or the dragon fruit? Vote now. It's a $850 Strat-shaped guitar made by Cort. They do make and sell the same kind of guitars for less than $500, says Kookie. Now, I know what you're saying. A friend of mine said the other day on the phone, he said this, I will not buy a bolt-on neck guitar like this for more than $1,000. I get it. These are not rocket science, right? These are... It doesn't cost them that much to make these. I get it, right? I totally get it. And is the American version worth $26 now? When they released the American version... Oh, Salvington, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. When they released the American version, I think it was around 20. I'm just guessing. I'm terrible with numbers on my memory, but I think it was around 22. I could look back on my account. I bought one from Sweetwater when they first came out. Oh, so I want to know which color is your favorite and are you going to buy one? And by the way, here's a quick word from my sponsor. If you're going to order one of these, they're not on the Sweetwater website yet, but bear in mind when something new is released, you won't get a discount on it because they're going to be in short supply. So if you are going to pre-order one, if you're in the USA, click below in this video. There's a link to Sweetwater. Click that and order from the site using my link, and I will get an affiliate commission at no cost to you. So you can help me support the channel without having to actually give me anything. That would be really much appreciated and help me support the channel. Thank you. All right. So which color is your favorite and are you going to pre-order one? Now, actually, while we're talking, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back and see. I'm going to see what if I can see what I paid for one of these American guitars when they first released. And I'm also going to tell you my personal story with this guitar and my thoughts on it. and then you can tell me, your thoughts on what I'm saying. So, as you know, I'm a big fan of John Mayer. I owned his Fender Strat signature guitar, and I absolutely loved it. And there's actually a video online somewhere of me playing it, and I loved it, right? I sold it years ago thinking I can just get another one. What happened? They stopped making them. They are now going for like $3,000 for a mint one. So that sucks, right? That sucks. But that was a great guitar. I loved that guitar. I thought it was a cool model. Now, I also love his Martin and some other guitars. I don't love all of his guitars that he's made. I'm not saying everything he makes is gold. I'm not saying that at all. But I do like a lot of the stuff he does. I like his playing. I'm also not saying that buying one of these will make me play like John Mayer. I'm completely aware that's not the case. I am just a fan of gear and John Mayer. So that's why I get a little bit extra excited when these things come out, right? So I ordered one. As soon as these were announced at NAMM years ago, I ordered one. And, oh yeah, I can see here what the price was. 1 second. Okay, when this came out, I ordered the tungsten with rosewood fingerboard. It was $2,300. Okay? $2,300. And I made a video. This is when I just started my channel. They're now $2,549, by the way. So they've gone up $250 since release. I made an unboxing video. I didn't post it because I didn't love the guitar. Now, why didn't I love the guitar? Let me tell you why. I'm just going to share the screen again. My first thought was, and again, maybe this goes back to we like what we get used to. My first thought was these controls here are incredibly plasticky feeling, and I didn't like that. Then again, they can be plastic on a Strat as well, and these do turn really easily, which could be a good thing. So, I don't know. I think back then I was kind of freaking out because I spent $2,300, and again, it's brand new, so I paid full price, $2,300 plus tax on this guitar. And of course, I'm a big fan of Fender, and I didn't know if I really wanted it. So I wasn't sure about that. And then the other thing I thought was the tuners. They're incredibly plasticky feeling. Now I think about it, it's not a bad thing, because if you have heavy tuners, the guitar can have this what they call tilt, right, where the guitar drops down on the headstock because that side of the guitar is heavier than the rest of it. That's never really bugged me, but it's something I do read about that bugs other people. And so I understand why they may have done that as well. I think ultimately it came down to the fact, oh, by the way, I also love the uncovered springs on the back. I think it ultimately came down to the fact that I am so much of a Fender fan that I didn't quite gel with it. Now, also with these guitars, I do think it looks great, by the way. But with these guitars, they don't have noiseless pickups, and I have a lot of problems here with 60 cycle hum. So as you know, my Fender Strat, my Strat that I got has a system in there to defeat some of the hum. It does have the hum cancelling in the in-between positions, which is fine. But if I can get a guitar that has like noiseless pickups, I will probably gravitate towards that. And this one doesn't. And with this one, it's not like a Fender where you can just take the pickups out and replace them, right? With a Fender, they make it so you can just take those pickups out and replace them with a humbucker, HSS configuration, or silent pickups. With this one, you're going to want to keep those pickups in there. So for those reasons, I didn't keep it. Now, moving on from that, I've read online that every year they do make slight tweaks and enhancers to these models. There's been a few changes over the years since they've been making them, which you would expect, right? It's like a computer. They release it, and then John might say, oh, can we try this, and then, oh, let's add that to the model, let's change that. I'm talking about very small changes, and I can't even think right now what they are, but there have been some very small changes made to these over the years, which is worth bearing in mind if you are buying used, all right? So, of course, looking back, I probably should have kept the guitar because now the price has gone up on the guitars anyway. So, anyway, that is what it is. So, here's the thing. Here's my announcement. I haven't told you this yet. I recently got a used American Silver Sky from one of the forums I frequent for an incredible price. It's in mint condition. And my plan, I got it just before they announced these. So my plan was to review that again. And then I can sell the guitar for what I paid for it, or I can keep it, right? But then they announced these guitars. So I decided yesterday to order one of the SE models, and I think I'm going to do a whole thing on this. I think there's so much attention on these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to review the SE model as soon as I get it. I'm going to review the used one that I got, and I'm going to compare them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm either going to keep one of them or sell one, or I'm going to sell both of them. And my thinking behind that is that the SE models will be in short supply. I can sell it and basically get my money back, maybe lose $50. And like I said, the American one I got so cheap, I actually couldn't even say no to it because I got such a great deal on it. So that's going to be coming up, I think, obviously next week. I want to do it while it's hot. I know, first, I wanted to say, if you're doing a YouTube channel, it's obviously a terrible idea to buy gear just to make videos about it. I mean, maybe not. There is gear that gets views, like when I did the Noel Gallagher guitar, right? I really wanted that guitar. I bought it anyway for myself, but I also knew it would get views. But I don't recommend anyone buy stuff just to get views because it's stupid. You'll never make that money back. It'll take you years to make that money back that you lost, right? Having said that, I do like John Mayer. I do like these guitars, or I'm interested in these guitars, and I think that'll be really interesting videos. So I'm going to make those videos, and you'll get to see what I think, and I'm going to compare the two. I'm sure lots of other people will do this as well, but hopefully I can bring something to the table that's a bit different. And taking me back to what I mentioned earlier in the show about getting used to certain things, I'm completely aware as well, I may not even like it because I'm so used to my Fender Strat. And a bit like the thing with the Martin legacy, I love Martin guitars for the history as much as the instrument, really. And with Fender, I love the history. I love Hendrix. I love all that stuff. You know, I didn't really like it when John Mayer went to PRS. But the fact is, he has gone to PRS, and I'm going to check out these guitars. So I'm going to directly compare the two. And if it arrives here next Wednesday, which I think it will, maybe Thursday, but if it does arrive Wednesday, I'll do a live unboxing as well. So yeah, that is going to be interesting. I'll just say that, because maybe I'll compare it to my Strat as well. And my Strat is kind of in the middle pricing. It's cheaper than the American Silver Sky, and it's more expensive than the SE version. So yeah, definitely make sure you're subscribed and ring the bell, because I'm going to be posting that video. And I want to see which color you think is the best, because it's probably not the color that I ordered. And like I said, if you want to help me out, if you're going to pre-order one, click my link in the description below to Sweetwater and under the affiliate links. And when they're on the website, which will probably be next week when they're released, which is Tuesday, if you order it using that link, I will get commission at no cost to you. I really would appreciate it, because I'll be doing a lot of hours making those videos, which is fine. I'll be doing it anyway, but it'll help me out. All right, let me see what you think about all that. So David says, how long until we see an SE Fiore? I don't know. I gotta say, PRS are gonna wipe the floor. If they can release these guitars for these prices, they're gonna sell so many of them. I bet Fender, I'm not gonna say Fender are scared, but the interesting thing right now is that all the American ones are sold out at Sweetwater. They're all sold out. You can't buy them anyway. Right? It's another reason why I bought the used one. You can't buy them new. Not that I was going to buy new, but I mean for resale value. So they're all sold out anyway at Sweetwater. So it makes total sense to sell the SE version, because I assume they can make more of them, and they'll sell them cheaper. They'll just make so much money. They'll do so well out of this. It's incredible. It's such a great business model. In the same way I was saying about Martin, you know, you have the high-end stuff, you have the low-end stuff, and you just saturate the market with all these different products. And if people love the SE version, I bet some of them will then go out and buy the latest American version for $2,600 or $2,549 as well. So Thomas Moore says, for that $850, you can get a used G&L Legacy. I haven't played many G&Ls. I get what you're saying. There's Yamahas that are 500 that maybe will be as good. I don't know. But it's not going to have, you know, we do pay for the name and the artist association. But what really matters, I guess, yes, is what is the guitar going to be like as an instrument, right? Lewis says, is that a good value, $850? I don't know what a good guitar is worth, because all my guitars were gifts. Well, that's the thing, Lewis. If you don't know the market, then I remember a couple of years ago, I said to some friends at the venue I work at, or some colleagues, what do you think you would pay for a guitar if you were a guitar beginner? Because I was going to make beginners lessons. I wanted to join with the company to sell a guitar as an affiliate and at a discount, and then teach lessons. So I was doing some research, and I said to people, what do you think you would pay for a guitar if you were learning the guitar? And they all said to me $100, $150, $200. Wow. Remember, Lewis, we are gearheads here. We're gear can be anywhere in the spectrum here, up to like $3,000 plus. So we've talked about guitars today that are $10,000. We've talked about guitars that are $850. There are great electric guitars for $500. And another thing I'd like to check out this year is the Harley Benton guitars from Thomann in Germany, which some of them are $200. I wanted to get one of those in throughout the year for the sake of $200. I wanted to get one of those in and try that out. The fact is, Lewis, you can, and like people are saying, you can buy a great instrument especially used, for $200, and you can have some work done on it, and you can make it into an incredible instrument that you love. And you can spend $10,000 on a guitar and not love it. That is reality. But of course, anyone could make this guitar or similar guitar to this, right? It would be a great guitar. But what you're getting here is like all equipment, like when you buy your Sony cameras, you're paying for the name. And with these, you're also paying, obviously John Mayer's getting $100 from these sales. Again, it's a guess, but let's just say he's getting some money from the sales of these guitars. So that's all adding to the cost that we pay. And then with inflation, maybe in a couple of years, these will be $1,000, $999, like David said originally. Maybe this is just to get them out there at $850. But yeah, for a PRS are very high-end brand, Lewis. So that's what it is. And then SE is their import guitar name, but you've still got their design and technology behind it, right? So Brad says, I have the PRS SE Zach Myers. Love the guitar. The pickups were a little muddy, so dropped in a couple of Seymour Duncan. That's the great thing, yeah. You can, very cheap upgrade is just to change your pickups, right? Strings and pickups can make a big difference. Cortec can make cheap guitars. PRSs still make money. I'm not bashing Asian PRS. I love the Santana model. Yep. I have no experience with SE PRSs at all, but a lot of people say they're great instruments. Do I have a dream electric guitar or an electric guitar you own that you can't live without? Well, the one guitar that stuck with me all the time is this one. This was a Sweetwater Custom. This was just an American Pro. Ah, you can't see it. Hang on. This was just an I say just. I shouldn't even say that. This was an American Pro model that Sweetwater customized basically into a Sonic Blue. And I always wanted a Sonic Blue guitar. So that's really why I got it. And I love it. It's got the roasted neck. It's got locking tuners. The neck shape is very comfortable. It's satin. I would like it to, I like guitars that are light. This is about 7.5 pounds, just maybe-ish. The Silver Sky SE is 7 pounds, and the Silver Sky is usually around like 7.4 pounds. So that really appealed to me as well. So I would like this to be a little bit lighter, but it's okay. But it's got the vintage Custom Shop 69 pickups, which I love. I love these pickups, and I've had a noiser system built in here as well, installed. So it cuts out a lot of the hum. And that's why I don't want to sell this guitar, because I put a lot of money into it to make it noiseless and still sound great. The only thing I would probably change is I like when they have the contoured heel. Doesn't really bother me, but it's kind of nice. I like when they're a little bit lighter. But this is about as close as I would get to what I would say is my go-to. So this is what I judge a lot of things against. And I love this guitar. This will probably be a keeper for me. Mostly because to buy another one and install that Illich noiser system would cost me a lot of money to do that. So that's the main reason. So, but the thing is, there's so many. This the thing with the gear now. There's too much. There's too much gear. Too many guitars. Too much gear. So it's just system overload, isn't it? Because there's new things coming out every day now, right? Thomas Moore says, the neck on the Fiore is awesome. The pickups are outstanding and so many combinations. Yeah, I'd like to try one. Like Real Ting said, if they make one with the rosewood neck, I would like to try it. Oh, Poo Ninja says scarf joints are actually stronger than single piece of wood. Okay. So that's good then. The maple neck is awesome. The neck is more Gibson-like. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I think I like the rosewood visually, but I like maple too. Meeting is adjourned. Issues are not. Oh, sorry to hear that. Okay, so Lewis likes the dragon fruit. Rexomatic likes the dragon fruit. Welcome, Rexomatic. Oh, Lisa likes moon white. Kooky likes moon white. Oh, they're even. They're even. Oh, it's even. Okay, well. I'm glad a couple of people chose the one that I like too. The truth is, with colors, I always think this, like, do you have guitars that are all the same color? I once knew a bass player that only had black basses. Or do you try to get guitars that are different colors? You have like a white guitar, blue guitar, and a red guitar. Red, white, and blue. So Cookie says, Aaron, I'm pretty sure the John Mayer first signature Fender was a Mexican based on his old Stevie Ray Vaughan and Big Dipper pickups. People look for them just to pick up. No, I don't think so. I don't think there was ever a Mexican John Mayer Fender. But again, that guitar changed a lot over the years. I think the neck went from like a, from what I heard online, the neck nut width went from like acoustic, like wide neck to the narrow neck, like you often get. I've heard many stories. It's amazing. You'll be careful when you buy a guitar, a signature guitar, because a lot of the artists tend to like make little changes each year, and what you get might not be what you thought you were going to get. Do I regret selling it? Selling what? I sold so many guitars. Oh, the John Mayer Fender. I do now because I just bought it. A store got 10 in, and I bought it for like 15, which is amazing. $1,500 for a Fender artist signature. And then they stopped making them. And like, to this day, I wish I bought all 10 of them, because now you see them on Reverb, they're going for like $3,000 or more. $3,000 in decent condition. And if you had one in as new, unopened condition, they're probably worth $3,500. Yeah, I do. I'll probably never get one again. There's an interesting thing about Fender. One of the current American professional guitars they sell is actually very similar to the Mayer guitar. Not exactly, but it's very close. I was going to make a video about that as well. Thomas Moore says, took 6 months off to get the Fiore after I ordered it. I would have never got one if I didn't order it. Got the price before the increase. That's cool. They went up as well. There is no PRS stock at Sweetwater at all, pretty much. It's all now like you have to order it and wait 6 months. Lewis says, love my... Oh, I'll just say LMAO. I was ready to buy it so I don't have to callus my hands as if they are laced with strings of the gods. You're going to have calluses on any guitar, Lewis. Big fan of John Mayer. Loved his Strat as well. Yeah, the Mayer guitar, or the guitar now that's very much like the John Mayer, has the same bodywood. It has the same tremolo. I think the fretboard material is rosewood, but different kind of rosewood, but obviously very similar. It's really, really close. Like, there's not many differences in them. The pickups are the big one, of course. The pickups are different. So that's that. They never released the pickups in that guitar. You had to buy the guitar and rip them out in order to use them. And be careful, if you buy a used John Mayer Fender Strat, a lot of the times, or sometimes, people have taken the pickups out and replaced them. You have to open it up and make sure it says John Mayer on the pickups. Make sure you get those pickups. Silver is gorgeous. Yes, actually, I do like the silver as well. Is the SE model like the iPhone SE? Yeah, student edition. Exactly. Let me just ban that comment. I'd like a 594 or a DGT. I'd like a DGT as well, Thomas Moore. Our friend the Real Ting has one. No, Mike, you didn't. First of all, you're late. And second of all, you didn't win. It was David that won. He said 999. And it's $8.50. Blows my mind. Kooky says, Aaron, I do buy IR pedals just to make experiments and post on the Acoustic Guitar Forum, but Dave says I am crazy. Yeah, well, it's kind of why I started the channel, because I was buying stuff to try and then sell, and I'm trying not to do that as much, even though I am doing it still. Part of the reason I started the channel, there's two reasons why I started the channel. One was I thought, well, if I'm going to have stuff here, I may as well make videos with it, because I'm a performer, right? I like being on camera. I like sharing my thoughts on gear. I spend a lot of time on forums talking to people about gear. So I thought, well, why not make videos about gear? And now this is even better because I can live stream about gear and interact on my own channel, not on someone else's forum. And I love that. And I have my own like home to give my opinions on the stuff, and also invite people here, like you're here in the chat now, giving me your opinions as well to help me inform things too. And I just think it's great, right? And then through that, I can also do sponsorships and sell my merchandise to help me for my time as well. So I'm investing in the whole thing. And then the other reason was actually to document this stuff, because I found that I would have a guitar here and I would think I don't like it and give it back or sell it, whatever. And then I'd wonder then a year later, oh, did I like that or not? So the great thing is when I review the Silver Sky on the channel, I'll have those recordings on the channel. So I can also, and I do this, I can go back myself and watch it. So let's say I'm sitting here in this time next year and think I want a Silver Sky. I can go back and watch the video and listen to it and then think to myself, yes, I do want a Silver Sky, or no, I'm saying I said on the video I don't like it, and I still don't like it. So that's actually the reasons why I did the channel in the first place. Hey, good to see you. What's the rain song in last week's video, Guitar B? I'm not going to tell you because I'm still getting people's answers. I will let you know on a video on Friday. Watch out for that one. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell. That's going to be a really interesting video. If you haven't already, go and check out the Martin versus Maton versus Rain Song video. I don't think Kooky's done it yet. Tell me in the description comments below the video which one you think is which. Or sorry, on the video I asked you to tell me which one you think is the Rain Song, the carbon guitar, and what's your order of preference tonally. So if you haven't done that, please do that, and make sure you wear headphones when you do it so you can really listen to it. It's going to be a lot of fun when I reveal the answers on Friday. Thomas Moore, I've been to PRS Experience at the factory several times. It's always awesome. Many artists and factories wide open. I would love to go there. Any reason to make more videos is a good excuse. It's worth the happiness. You are right. Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, obviously my long-term goal is to work with companies to do these videos and not finance them all myself. I think the big difference with PRS is that Paul is a guitar player who is obsessed with quality and tone. No other company has an owner like that. It's not a decision by me. I agree. I like the way he thinks, and I'm sure even the guitars that are made offshore are going to be vetted by him, of course. He cares, right? That's his baby. You need to know the market. You do. All this stuff is just the market. You have to know it if you're buying new or used to know what you're getting into. Thomas, I have a DGT, incredible guitar, probably the best I've owned. Also a hollow body spruce piezo and the Zach Myers. All great instruments. But yet you're still talking about a Fiore real thing. That's why you're here today. Lewis says the skill focus on being a better guitar player. Yes, that is the most important thing. Don't get me wrong. The gear is one thing and the music is another thing. And for better or worse, I personally would probably say worse. There is more focus now on the gear. There is. And there's a lot of gear. Some of it is truly innovative and creates new music, and some of it does not. But it's just a thing, right? It's like everyone has a thing now. Everyone talks about different things. Sometimes it reminds me of like video games as a kid, you know, like Sega versus Nintendo is now Kemper versus Line 6. But it's all fun. You just like anything in life, everything in moderation, right? Thanks for saying it like it is. I'm trying my best to always just say my honest opinion without saying something that can be misinterpreted that I didn't mean. That's the fine line I'm trying to walk these days. Looking forward to comparison. SE Fender, don't forget to give the nut width. Thanks. Okay, awesome. Thomas, I thought Taylor is a bit like PRS. Yeah, a lot of people say that. No, people say Taylor is the sir of acoustic guitars. So make of that what you will. True, you can get a good quality 4K video from an iPhone versus an 8K video. You have no idea how to film. It's the skill of the sailor, not the size of the boat. All right. Yeah, and you can get cheap cameras that give you great results with the right lighting and skill, right, Lewis? And you can get really expensive cameras that look terrible because the person doesn't know how they're using it. So that's true. Everything in life is like that. Real Ting, which would you get between the DGT and the 594? I like the SE Semi, but didn't like the Piazza one. I've thought of that one, the Charcoal Burst. You need to try a G&L. It was Leo Fender's old company where he corrected all the issues he didn't like with the Strats and Tellies. I heard that the other day. Yeah, I will. I met the rep from G&L at NAMM a few years ago. We shared a bus together, just from the hotel to the show, and we were talking. I really have to see if I can find his card. I was definitely interested. No twang bars for me. I like Reverend Spindle Electrics. Great tonal options, great value. I agree, but they've gone up in price too. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Everything's gone up in price, right? But they are more affordable than a lot. I like the bar, but it definitely it can create issues, of course. I used to have the bar locked down at all times, like John Mayer and Clapton do. But you can get some really cool effects with the bar. So it's like everything else. It's that trade-off, isn't it? Lisa says, I used to have a white Strat Telly and P bass, all with redwood necks. It was a phase. Rexomatic, have had good luck with a beautiful red Harley Benton CST 24 at $225 and shipping to US. Yeah, so I've also got affiliate links with Thomann, by the way. So if you order from Thomann, use my link, please. But the thing about Thomann is I've recently realized this, and it's a good tip. Right? I love Sweetwater, and I'll always recommend Sweetwater first because you have a much easier time of having gear fixed or swapped out, right? But with Thomann, you can actually get some really good deals on stuff. Now, remember, you might or you will have to pay import tax. But even with that, you can sometimes get stuff at kind of used prices for new. Not everything, but certain things. And they also have their own line of guitars called Harley Benton. I'm going to review these because the affordable gear always gets all the views on the channel. And again, I don't want to make videos just for views, but they do always do very well because people are looking for a deal, right? We're all looking for a deal, of course. We all want to save money. So the Harley Benton line is incredible. Now, I found them on Reverb, but it's really interesting. What I found on Reverb is resellers. There's someone on Reverb that buys them and sells them at a profit on Reverb. You can just order direct from Thomann and get them less. And it's incredible. At Thomann, they've got these Harley Benton guitars that are like $200. $200 for a guitar that is actually pretty incredible. The specs are incredible. So I bet one of those with a great setup could be amazing. And again, disclaimer, I'm into the name brands. I'm into the history, the legacy stuff. But I also want to keep my eye on that stuff too. Just because it's so impressive. Some of the affordable stuff is so impressive. And what Harley Benton are doing there is incredible. I mean, like you said, $225 plus shipping to the US. Like if Lewis wants a guitar, why wouldn't you just get that, right? Amazing. I always learn so much from your channel and perspective. Thank you so much, Aaron. That's fine, Lewis. Like I said, in the old days, I'd be on forums typing to people this stuff, and now I get to do it on the video. I think it's much, it's better for me, and I'm glad that you're getting something for it as well. I've been buying gear and into gear for a long time, so hopefully I can help you avoid some pitfalls. Some of this stuff you have to just experience for yourself, of course. But if there is something like you're looking at, hopefully my opinion will help you save some time and money, hopefully. Thomas Moore, agree, REG&L. Okay, I will. So I'm making a mental note of those G&Ls. A few people have mentioned the G&L lately. I will definitely try one out. I might actually send them an email. Do the Martins play much better than others? Well, they are plecked, which I love. I love the fact they pleck the guitars in the factory. Do they play better? It's all subjective. Again, I'm very used to them. I'm used to those guitars. So to me, they play really well, but I'm not saying other guitars don't. Some guitars have different scale lengths and things which make them appear easier or harder to play. But I do actually, a lot of people say Martins are hard to play and come with high action. They used to. And a lot of guitars do come slightly high action, so you can lower them. It's very easy to lower the guitar action of the guitar. It's much harder to raise it because you've got to make a new saddle, right? It's not hard, but it's harder to do. So lately, I feel last few years since I've been playing guitars, they do ship them lower anyway. And I play a lot of guitars out of the box from Martin that play great. I have no issues at all. You were right. The John Mayer Strat was made in America. The Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Jimmy Vaughan, Robert Cray remix it. Yeah, I knew it. There's a huge history to that guitar. I don't know everything about it. Someone actually made a video about it. Maybe I should do more of those too. But there's so many things they changed about it. But it was always a US guitar. ASAT and Legacy. So yeah, I'll add that to the list. I like trem bridges, so DGT. It also has a killer neck with big frets and the best humbucker pickups I've ever played. If I could buy the pickups, I'd put them in everything. Wow, that's a huge compliment. I have the Harley Benton Telly. It's amazing. Post the comment above with link to Seafoam Green Telly Star for $139. I didn't see it. Maybe it got flagged. Oh, yes, it did. I'll show it. Hang on. I'll finish with that. I want to finish with the Harley Benton stuff because it's been on my radar this week. The TE, I mean, it's just crazy. Look, TE52 was $150 and was perfect out of the box. That's incredible. And, you know, a lot of guitars need a setup. I've got no problem with paying someone $80 for a setup on a guitar like that because they can make it really incredible, right? Does it ship to Canada? I don't know. They might do. Again, in the description below, I have affiliate link to Thomann as well. If you're going to buy one, please click that link and then order it. I would appreciate it. But I'm going to be checking one out in the future. In the near future, I'll be checking one of these out because for $150, right? That's the kind of video that is definitely worth it for me to make. As an example, I have a 20-year-old Fender Telly issue, but I'm tempted by this guitar. Okay, I have to load it on the browser. 1 second. You see what I mean, Lewis? That's why I know if I make that video, it'll get loads of views because that's what beginners want. They want the affordable options. A beginner's not going to buy a DGT. So the beginner's going to buy the 225 guitar. Really enjoyed your review of the Martin CO7. Finally able to get one from a great shop in Bozeman, Montana. Music Villa. Yeah, I like their videos. Thank you. I didn't review it as such, but I did a video with Maury, right, where he played it. Real thing. Most people want a higher action and get it by just dialing in more relief. That's true too. But I meant if you have to raise the saddle. I don't like using shims. I have to make a new saddle, which is fine, but it's harder than sanding a saddle. Would you buy a Princeton or Deluxe to gig with? I would buy a Deluxe to gig with because the Princeton's not got much headroom. But again, it depends if you need headroom or not. Okay, let me see then. I'm going to go to Thomann. This is going to be the last thing we look at here. We're going to look at some Harley Bentons. All right. I have to go to the stream and click on your link. Where? Okay, it's not highlighted. I got to copy it. That's why. Okay. Clicked my links and now got rose-colored glasses on. Oh wow. Yep. Okay, I'm taking you over to look at these guitars. 1 second. $139. Now, I'm sorry. How is this guitar $139 and ships from Germany? And even with shipping and a possible import tax. Now, I bought a few things that didn't have import tax applied because they were cheaper. The stuff that's over $1,000 will have import tax, right? But how is this guitar $139? I mean, look at the thing. It looks great. I think I've even seen some of these Harley Benton guitars that have stainless steel frets for like a couple of $100. And I can't even get anyone to do stainless steel frets on my guitars without paying them like $1,000 or, you know, $500, $300. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And these were never on my radar. I just thought these were cheap guitars. But so many people have reviewed them and said they're great that I just have to check one out. And that price is absolutely ridiculous, right? That price is absolutely insane. And they do so many models as well. They do Strat style, Tele style. They do modern style. So, yeah, yeah, Lewis, if you're a beginner guitarist and you're still getting your feet wet and you're not sure that you're in this for the long haul, this is what you get. And you take it to someone really good at setting up guitars. If it needs it, then you just take it to someone who's a real expert at setting up guitars, and they set it up for you and make it perfect. And then this would do you for 10 years, you know? This would be the one. And then if you ever do buy a higher end guitar, this will become your backup or your gigging guitar, and you're done. It's incredible. Lewis says, if I finance this $2,500.49 guitar, how much of affiliate do I get? It varies. It's like 4 to 6%, depending if you're a new customer or not. So it's pretty good. And the only reason I push it is because I want to keep growing the channel. And some people, don't get me wrong, I really appreciate this week. I've had some super chats and I've had some buy me a coffees. I really appreciate those. But I just want to say this with these affiliate links, it doesn't cost you anything. So if you finish this stream and you're going to buy one of these Harley Bentons, click my link and then buy it. It doesn't cost you anything, and then you're supporting the channel without it costing you anything that you wouldn't have spent. So that's the only reason that I push that way, because I think that's an easy way to do it. But yeah, I mean, look at this thing. It's absolutely nuts. And like I said, they were not on my radar, but they're so talked about that I just have to check them out. And I know people will appreciate it because they're so affordable. I just thought they were these. I thought they were these cheap acoustics, like really, you know, just affordable, factory made or horrible, blah, blah, blah. I had no thoughts at all. I just thought they're going to be real budget. Like in the old days, the really cheap stuff you see. I thought, no, terrible, terrible, terrible. But then you see these reviews where they say this $200 guitar is absolutely fantastic. And I'm just looking for... Now, I'm not disillusioned, Lewis. If you want to go out and get the American Silver Sky, then be my guest. I'm sure it will be much better. I'm sure you'll love it. I shouldn't say better, but I'm sure it's an incredible investment. And in 5 years, those guitars will probably be $3,000, right? So I got no problem recommending that to you at all. But if you are unsure about your journey with the guitar and you want to get something to start off slowly, rather than going out and buying something incredibly cheap that just won't inspire you and is just horrible to play, this is the way to go. If they ship to Canada, of course. This is the way to go. And of course, disclaimer, always check about import taxes and things. I don't want to get blamed because you got charged for the import tax. So do your research before you order. And I wouldn't go for the cheapest one either. I'm trying to look here for the ones that, like this one. Look, it's like an SG copy. I'm actually surprised they haven't been sued more for these guitars. Oh, this site looks just like the Sweetwater site, doesn't it? That thing on the left. I want to sort it by price. Here we go. Let's see. So you see. Let me find something that I'd be interested in. See, even this one, right, at 522, like the equivalent of that on American guitar would be what, $1,500 probably? Oh, they got a double neck. I'm just looking for like a Strat style. Let's see. These Fusions look cool too. And look, this one has the amp and everything, tuner, everything with it, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't really have like a modern shred guitar. Now, I don't do modern shred, but it'd be cool to have a guitar like that. Let me see. I haven't found one yet that I would be interested in. Because the prices are still getting into that range here. So they've got solid acoustics as well for $438. Let's take a look at this, the Fusion 3. $425, which is still an incredible value. The Yamaha that I checked out last year was $500, which I said was an incredible value. But this one has a roasted neck, and I bet, has it got stainless steel frets? I'm guessing it has. I don't know. Hang on. it say? I saw some of these at this kind of price. That's yep. Medium jumbo stainless steel frets. For me to get my guitar, for me to have my guitar refretted with stainless steel frets would be in New York would be about $300 or plus. For the price of that, I can just buy a guitar from a Harley Benton guitar that comes with stainless steel frets. To me, that is just absolutely incredible. And look at that, it looks great. So you can buy this guitar, and again, I haven't played them. I'm getting excited here. I might play them and end up saying on the channel, well, actually, you know, it didn't quite feel right, and I'm not sure about it, and I'd rather spend the money on something else. So I won't comment until I've reviewed one, but if it worked out and I said I was very happy with it, what an incredible deal, and what an amazing thing, you know? Because I said that 850 was great for that Silver Sky, which it is. It certainly is because it's PRS and John Mayer, but then this gives it a whole new light, doesn't it? When you look at these, I'll just find one more here. We get into the $200 range. I went by the most expensive price, which was still like $600. That's what all the modern fusion guitars are selling for. So now I'm getting down into they've basically got every style of guitar on here as well. Look. So now I'm getting down. I'm trying to find the Tellys and Strats, which are going to be more affordable. Or was that one? No, these are all the modern guitars, which are more money. There's a Les Paul style for $362. Really, yeah. These have never been on my radar at all, but it's incredible. If you want to try a Les Paul style guitar, if you want to try a 335 style guitar, if you want to try a Telly style guitar, then what a great idea to try one of these. They've basically they had a resonator, didn't they? They've basically got everything. So you can just try the instrument. They've got a headless one as well. They've just got every kind of guitar. So you can just try one at this price. And if for a while, if it doesn't work out, you can sell it and probably not lose much money. And if you love it, but want something with a name brand, you could buy that instead. And maybe you won't. Maybe you'll prefer this. I don't know. Of course, without playing them, you just don't know, right? They got basses as well. They got so many products. It's crazy. Solid acoustics, cutaway acoustics. Now I'm into the $200 range. Bass guitars. They got a lot of the fusion guitars, I notice. And then the Strat style is going to be, I'm guessing under it's going to be under $200. Oh, real thing has a fusion too. What, Harley Benton? How is it? Tell me. I bought a $50 guitar and it was a kid size. Now it's nice to play. Yeah. Buy nice, don't buy twice is true, Lewis. But with a guitar like this, I just think if you're starting out and you want to get something to start out with that's still amazing quality for the price, that's what these are for, I think. And then it can become your backup. Because if you then go out and buy a $1,000 or a $2,500 guitar, you still want to have a backup guitar. This will become your backup, your teaching guitar, your experimenting guitar, all those kind of things, right? So I think a little bit differently with that. But I do agree. If you want to learn on a Fender that's $1,500 and you can afford it, you should get it. Because the fact that it's the guitar of your dreams means you'll probably pick it up more as well. So that's important too. So look, I haven't got to them yet. I'm now in the $250 range, right? There's like a Gibson style guitar. Oh, I got 12 strings as well. That's a jumbo. I'm assuming that the Strats and Tellys are going to be like, yeah, in the sub $200 range, which is just crazy. Crazy good, I mean. For me, a lot of it is about the feel of the instrument as well. Like, does it feel quality? So sometimes the affordable instruments don't feel good, especially at this kind of price. If these feel like they're good quality to play as well at these kind of prices, I would be seriously blown away. See, I'm now down to 235. No, Lewis, I'm saying it's okay to start with one of these guitars because people say these are great quality for the money. I would never say start with a guitar that feels bad or doesn't inspire you. You want a quality instrument as a learner. If these are quality, and I don't know if they are yet because I haven't reviewed one. If these are quality, then I would say start with this, because if you end up not playing anymore, which is bad attitude to even start with, but let's say it doesn't work out, you've then just got a guitar you can give away or pass on or sell, not lose much money. If you buy the $2,600 Silver Sky and end up not playing it, you're going to lose a lot of money when you sell it potentially, which will not be good. I think if my advice, I don't want to give my advice on these because I haven't played them yet. So my advice to you right now is to get a high-end guitar if you can afford it. I mean, never make yourself like in debt over this stuff. If you can afford a really high-end electric guitar and you have the ambition and dreams to learn that instrument, then you should get that. If you're unsure and I review one of these and I say, yes, it's really great instrument for the money, then you would start with one of these. If they ship to you, and if they don't, there's other options too, like the PRS SE line or even the Fender Mexican line, which people rave about those as well. And I played a couple of those, which are really cool. So look, I haven't even got to those guitars. What is going on here? Okay, I just saw a telly there. I think I'm about to see them any second now. We're now down to $189 for these ones. I mean, I just can't believe they're any good. And yet everyone tells me they are good. So that's why I'm so interested in these guitars. And the fact that they will ship to America is great. I've actually bought a few things from Thomann, and there was no problem at all. I actually had to return a couple of things because they had issues. Not guitars. But there was no problem to return it either because they covered the cost because it was their fault that the thing was defective. Well, not their fault, but you know, it wasn't my fault that the thing was defective. All right. QQQ. I only picked up this acoustic guitar thing when I retired in 2019. I've not considered electric, should I? What would you suggest for a blues electric? I think you should get a great Strat and a Fender amp, Jim. I think you'll love it. But it is important to get the guitar with the neck that you like, the weight that you like, the pickups that you like. But I think more acoustic players should play electric because I think when you get that fat electric tone that's really great, the acoustic thing translates very well. Even if you just strum chords or fingerpick on the electric, you still get a unique sound that I think you'll enjoy. If you like electric guitars, of course. But I mostly play acoustic for my job, but I love playing electric as well. That's why I think you'll like it. But I think it's very important to get the right amp and the right guitar because you want something, again, that fills the room. And especially if you're used to an electric guitar, acoustic guitar, sorry. If you've got like a really roaring Dreadnought acoustic and you're used to that sound, I think it's good to then get an electric that also fills the room. That's why I'd recommend a tube amp and a classic kind of guitar to get that fat tone. Maybe use thicker strings as well, because you use the heavier strings on the acoustic. That could actually be a great video as well. Electric guitars for acoustic guitar players. Look at that one. Well, okay, where are these Strats? I know I did this the wrong way around. Okay, I see one now. Here's one. $169. Very good reviews. And there it is, look. Let's check out the specs on this. Vintage series, American basswood, Canadian maple, bolt-on neck, which is what they all are, maple fretboard, modern D neck profile, which I'll probably like. Truss rod, double action truss rod, 21 frets, single coil pickups. Yeah, I mean, great. 169, that's absolutely insane. And then there's ones that are even cheaper than that. Let me just find a Strat that I think looks like one I'd be interested in. This is incredible. Really, really, really incredible. I'm definitely gonna review one of these guitars. because everyone's talking about them. Everyone's looking for the videos, and I want to try it for myself. I want to know if these really are as good as people say. 159. See, that's interesting. Yep. So that is basically what my Strat is like. So it'd be great to compare this to my Strat that is worth 10 times that. So it's imitation rosewood and basswood. You know, it's not real wood, blah, 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 blah. It's all these woods you haven't heard of. But does it really matter? How does it feel? Is it a quality instrument that stays in tune and is fun to play? That's the question I have. Because for the cost of that, that's like a meal at a decent restaurant in New York. Crazy. Oh, Wilkinson Tremolo. The Wilkinson Tremolos are really nice. Yep. They've actually been around since February 2015. These were never on my radar. I saw a few videos about these, and I just thought they were just sponsored videos, and I just thought the price is so cheap, they could never be any good. But $159 is insane. Absolutely insane. All right, let me just go through the comments. I better start to wrap up soon. I've been on for a while. I knew this would be a long one. So, oh, don't worry, Lewis. It's fine. And if you've got one now, then just learn on that. Just have it set up, learn on that, and then save up for one you really want. Texting. Okay, I'll check that out. I won't play it in case I get a copyright thing. TE80. Okay, I like this one. This one looks cool. I want to know the weight, actually, because I do like guitars that are around 7 pounds. I have no idea what this guitar weighs. Of course, all guitars weigh different weights, which is one reason I like to look on, especially like Sweetwater has the weight of the guitar. I like, with electric guitars especially, I like to know that stuff. TE80. $179. Ash body. They have sound samples as well. That's nice. Yeah, it's just absolutely incredible. It really is insane. Some of the gear now is so affordable and so good. Like, look at that. Look, that's almost like the Rosewood Harrison Telecaster, right? You could pretend you're George Harrison. Some of them are out of stock. Some of them are not. This one's what? $85. You know, you look at that price, you just think this thing's gotta suck. It's gotta be terrible. And I'm sure it's not gonna feel like a Fender Telecaster. Of course it's not. But $85. Isn't it great that there's accessible instruments like this? I have to try it. Because I've tried some $30 guitars and they just feel, you know, they feel like they're $30. They don't feel anything like even a $300 wooden guitar. But $85 for this, I wonder, does this feel like those, or does it feel more like an actual like Fender Strat? So yeah, wow. Oh, Modern After Prince's telly, cool. It's like going on dates. You got to try a bunch to know what you like. Oh, hang on, we come back here. Bad dates, you know exactly what. Yes, that's right. But you also don't be dating forever, right, Lewis? Alan Coleman, you have scrolled past so many tellies. Everything that starts with T. I did. Oh, I didn't even notice. I was looking at the end there. I was looking for a Strat. I want to compare it directly to the Strat that I have. It'd be interesting if they had a Sonic Blue Strat and I could compare it to my Fender Strat. Do you have a PO box, Aaron? I do not. I'm going to get one eventually, but I don't have one yet, Lewis. I hate the headstock on the Strat. Really? Let me see. I mean, they're very Fendery, aren't they? I've got to say. What was the Strat? That's the problem. Oh, because I searched for that one here. This one. You hate the headstock? Why? Actually reminds me of the Yamaha headstocks. No, they're different, aren't they? Or a Sir or something. Yes, I don't know. I don't mind it. I don't like the big stamp on the back. It looks a bit cheap, but I think this looks great. $159. I think this looks really, the rosewood thing looks really cool. I think that looks amazing. I'm tempted to buy it right now on the stream and then review it next week, but I've already bought the Silver Sky, so I really probably shouldn't. I'll probably get something like this, either this one or something similar to this, to review in a video during January. It's going to be interesting. David, what did I miss? Well, David, you missed the fact that you were correct. $999. Actually, you weren't correct. You were the closest to the price. The price of the Silver Sky SE is $850, which blew my mind in this show. My first Martin was a D15. One store who was totally right told me to get a D18V and he would finance it, and I wouldn't be buying another one right away. He was so right, and I should have listened. Yeah. It can be annoying if you go in cheaper and buy like a D15 when you really want a D18, and then you've got to buy that again later on, and you end up with the thing that you wanted in the first place. I totally get that. But it's also good sometimes to buy something cheaper to try it out. Like if you could have found a used D15 and you can then sell it and not lose anything, that's great. Just be wary of buying the new thing. You've got to know you want that D18V. If you get it and then realize you don't like the V-neck, then you might lose money. I mean, occasionally you make money when you sell stuff. Occasionally you break even, but you often lose money when you sell high-end gear. So I don't know how I feel about that. Now you know you wanted the D18V. I would agree with that, but you didn't know that at the time, did you? Thomas Moore says, I bet they're throwaway guitars. I don't know. What do you think? When I reviewed the $30 acoustic guitar, when I first started my channel, that was by the way, that's a terrible, cringy review. I left it up. It's a $30 guitar. And I'm basically saying, well, it's a guitar, you can play it, it makes a sound, you can learn on it, it's incredible value, which it is, right? $30 to have something you can actually get started on is great. I mean, you can spend $30 at Starbucks, right? But ultimately, it feels like the thing's about to disintegrate into thin air. It feels like it's made from cardboard or something, right? It doesn't feel real. So my question is, for $159, does this feel real? The Yamaha guitars that are $600 feel real. They feel like high quality instruments that you could gig with. The Fender Strats, the Mexican-made ones they just released, or the Player series, I don't love the look of them. They don't look as nice to me as the Ultra series, but they play incredibly well. The noises pickups are incredibly useful. And again, professional instrument. And then, of course, you get to 2200, you get the Ultra Strat from Fender. And of course, that's amazing, right? It's going to feel quality. Whether you enjoy playing it or listening to it as much as you do the other ones is very subjective, I think. But it's going to feel like a quality instrument. I mean, having said that, you can still get those instruments and they have issues or defects in the finish. Don't get me wrong. But it's definitely going to have a certain feel to it for that kind of money. And if it doesn't, you send it right back, right? But this Harley Benton at $159, it's like, what is that going to feel like? Is that going to feel like the guitar where, like I said, where you think, well, it's a guitar and I can learn chords and start the solo on it, but I won't enjoy, as soon as I bend the tremolo, it's going to go out of tune, and I would never gig with this thing, and I want to move up as soon as possible up the food chain? Or are you going to say, hey, this is actually great. This is comparable to the Yamaha, and it's $159, and everyone should get one as their gigging guitar, because I'm tired of taking my Silver Sky to gigs and having people spill beer on it. So I'm going to get this, or I'll just leave this in the car at a gig, and if someone steals it from the back of the car, it doesn't really matter. Of course it matters, but it's not like they've stolen my $2,000 custom shop. That's the question I have with these guitars. Man, it's very, very, very tempting and very interesting. Oh, don't say that, Lewis. He missed a lot. He missed New Martins. He missed Silver Sky thoughts. He missed pickup thoughts. He missed a lot of stuff today. And he just came in to brag about how he got the closest to the answer of the Silver Sky SE. There is a whole Facebook group of Harley Benton modders. Oh, so you can mod them too, yeah. Of course, if you know what you're doing and you can buy this guitar and then mod it, and then you can make this an incredible instrument that you can gig with, I'm sure. Anything can be modded to be a professional instrument if you know what you're doing. Thomas, I'd love to see your collection. That Instaclip is just me finding tones with a Kemper. Oh, okay, it's your guitar. Okay, I'll check it out. But long story short, what do you think of the Harley Benton guitars? So you tell me. You can answer my question. You can save me making this review right now. For those of you that have bought the Harley Benton guitars, are they good instruments? Are they gig-worthy instruments, or are they just good for the money instruments? Tell me. You can save me the hassle. Someone should take Lewis by the hand and go to a music shop with him. I do it. The thing is, I know Lewis very well from our camera chats, and he is sometimes on the fence about stuff. I think he won't mind me saying that. I'm going to say to Lewis, you should wait for. I've got a couple of guitars I'll be reviewing over the next month or so. You should wait to see my thoughts on them before you decide. Because, like I said, I think it's a great option to go out and buy one of these just to learn on, but then the chances are you want something better. And I don't want to tell you to go and buy a $3,000 guitar and then you end up not playing it and you sell it for $2,000. So let me investigate some of these in-between guitars and more affordable guitars, and I'll tell you what I think you should do. So Rexomatic has the Black Cherry Red Harley Benton CST24. 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 So like this one, right? But not that color. So that is basically like a PRS, isn't it? That's their PRS copy. I mean, it looks great. Oh man, are you playing out on stage? No one's even going to know. This episode has suddenly become the budget episode, hasn't it? Talking about sub $1,000 guitars. In this case, sub $300 guitars. It's crazy. This is fun episode for me. Wish there's 9-day trial. There is. Buy from Sweetwater, you get 30 days. Some stores have 45 days. So you can get that too. How can you send me a card for your birthday? You can send me an e-card, or you can send me buy me a coffee, and I'll go and buy myself a birthday cake. I'll let you know if I set up a PO box. Oh, Alan's in Germany. Too far to take Lewis shopping. Oh, they have an ST62. Let's see that one. ST62CC in Sonic Blue. The thing is, I probably wouldn't buy the guitar that I have now, because if I end up falling in love with it, I'd probably want to keep it. And then at that point, it's like, well, I don't want to have two guitars that are the same. That is cool. $139. My God. I like that Rosewood one that I saw. You didn't like this one? Because I was after the Beatles documentary, I was looking at the Beatles Rosewood Telecaster guitars, but they're really expensive. They're $4,000 and they're really heavy. The ones I saw, I thought, no way, I don't want that. But look, this is that kind of flavor. It's got that rosewood look to it. I like this one. $160, rosewood look. And it's not rosewood, but it looks like it. I think this looks really cool. I think this looks really great. You know, if I'd gotten a couple of super chats today, I may have even ordered this right now and done a review and unboxing next week on the channel. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to save up. But I think I'm gonna get this one next few weeks and review this one. And I hope I like it. And if I don't, then Lewis can buy it off me. Actually, he can. Oh, I know. I'm not sending that to Canada. I might get done for taxes. The headstock kind of looks like the old BC Rich headstocks. I mean, I think I prefer the headstock of the Harley Benton to the PRS, to be fair. Sorry, Paul. Sorry, Paul. What color Silver Sky did you get? I got the moon fruit, the kind of reddish one. I really want a red guitar. I wish that was more of a classic red. It's not, but it's cool. It's different. I like the different look to it. Alan's going to help Lewis buy a guitar in Germany. With Harley Benton, you are so wrong. About what? Thomas More. What did Thomas More say? Oh, I don't know. No one's really telling me if they like these guitars or not, so. Oh, okay. My Harley Benton Telly is great. The neck is also cameralized. Feels and sounds like a real guitar. Okay. So that's a vote for them from Mike. Aaron, they feel great. You're going to say they're great, Alan says. So you say they're great too? Stardance, sorry to tell you, I had a very bad experience with a copy of a 12-string Rick. Harley Benton model paid for setup. Did not get it. And I cost $100 for setup. It's a floppy neck. Not good. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you can go to Luthier and they can say to you that this guitar is defective, I'm sure they'll pay to have it sent back again, which is fine. What you're saying is there's no one and done. You just need to get started because you have multiple styles you love to use. Yeah. You get a solid guitar that feels good and is affordable and you can get started to play and you focus on the music. And then later on you get into the gear stuff and you look for gear and that hopefully becomes like a side thing to the playing and not your only thing. Starting out, I go acoustic, maybe semi-hollow body. Gretsch Streamline looks solid. Okay, I'll play it out, but it's heavy. The weight does matter to me. I know some people don't care about weight. Some Sirs are over 8 pounds, Strat style. And then my Strat is about 7.5. And then I've played Strats that are like the Silver Sky SE apparently is 7 pounds, which I love the idea of 7 pounds. So if this guitar, unfortunately, they don't tell you the weight of the guitar. I'm sure you don't get a case. I'm sure it just shows up in a cardboard box. You don't know the weight of it. It could be really heavy. Then again, maybe it's worth it, that trade-off for that price. Also had the CST-24 hollow body, had Killer Flame. Not good. Great learning channel. Great shopping. It's become a shopping channel. I know quite a few professional musicians in Germany who gig with their Harley Bentons. Wow. Okay. If I buy you a coffee. If you buy me a coffee, I get most of the money. It's really good. They take a very small percentage. Super chats, they take 30%. But I don't mind because YouTube has given me this platform to stream on and make videos on. So I don't mind them taking the money. Yeah, buy me a coffee is the best one. So I'll do it here. There you go. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, exactly. You see, this has been a really fascinating episode. David says we went from talking about $10,000 acoustic guitars to well, not even that, David. We went from talking about, don't forget this, we went from talking about the D45 Modern Deluxe, which is going to be over $10,000, to a Harley Benton ST70RW Deluxe, which is $159. And I know one's acoustic and one's electric, but they're both instruments. And isn't that just insane? And it raises a whole new thought in my head of, okay, like I said, I want a guitar to say Fender and Martin. I don't want it to say Harley Benton. All right, that is something that I have decided. But if I can put that out of my mind for a second and play these two back to back and be subjective, is it actually viable? I'm not going to say worth it, because I think whatever you want to own is worth it. Is it viable to, I want to say gig, because I'm a gigging musician, right? Can I gig? Can I go to a wedding this summer with this Harley Benton and everyone says I did a great job? Wouldn't that be great? And then my Strat stays at home and I come home and play the Strat, and I love them both for different reasons. I just find that stuff fascinating. I'm just reading through your comments, so as soon as they stop, I'm going to say goodbye. Oh, S. Willis bought me a coffee. Thank you, S. Willis. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So Rexomatic says, I have several Harley Benton guitars along with my Fenders, Rickenbacker, Gibsons, and Godin. They are really good for the price you're paying. They aren't the same level, but are gig dry. Okay, so gig worthy, right? Yeah, well, to think about it, what if you can find this Harley Benton on the screen used for $80? Crazy. Oh, I missed this one. Yeah, I did miss this. Sorry. My £400 Harley Benton has done big gigs in front of 2,000 people. Wow. Wow. My Harley Benton CST 24 is £7.18 with the strap. That's fine. That's not bad at all. 7.18. That's light. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. This has been a really long and interesting episode. I came here really to talk about the John Mayer guitar, which I'm sure we're all interested in, which is cool. I wanted to tell you also about the price increases and remember CES. My voice is gone now. CES is currently on. That's the big electronics trade show. So yes, Samsung have released a guitar there, and like I said, there's a new mic coming from Neumann. There's tons of gear coming, but I think these affordable guitars are interesting. I've also got a feeling, again, I don't ever want to buy. People love the idea that they can spend $159 and get something that they can learn and gig with, like we said, in front of thousands of people. Now, whether that's not the Fender they want to hang on the wall, the 65 custom shop Fender or PRS or Gibson, whatever, that's another issue. That's another story. That's just things we like. But I think it's really great now that we do have a lot of gear that's going up in price and very expensive, but we also have gear that we can still buy that's incredibly affordable. So I think that's really great, and I'm really glad that Thomann do that, because Harley Benton is Thomann's brand, right? It's their own brand, and they sell it direct, and they obviously save money there as well. But I often say that Yamaha are great for price and quality, but this is a whole new level if the instruments are of a high quality. Okay. Thank you for the stream. Fun way to start 2022. And Stardent says, I'm looking forward to hearing this Harley Benton straight. Yeah, I'm really tempted. I'm really, really tempted. So we'll see. But I think that'd be cool too. But like I said, lots of cool things coming up. Next week will be the Silver Sky. I'm going to focus on Silver Sky next week because everyone's going to be talking about it. I will get down to that. Wouldn't it be funny if I end up preferring a Harley Benton $159 guitar to the Silver Sky? That could be really funny too. Just subscribe to your channel. Having watched a few shows over the last year, enjoyed your show today. Looking forward to a Silver Sky review. Thank you, Rexomatic. Yep, that will be next week. I might have it to unbox next Wednesday, but I think I'll get it on Thursday because of the 2-day shipping. So I think my first unboxing video for that will be on Thursday. Andy says, rock on. Thank you. Thanks for subscribing, Rexomatic. I see you there. Thank you, Andy Dion. I appreciate that. So thanks for watching. Go live Monday at 4 discussing acoustic guitars. Wednesday at 1 discussing gear in general. Sundays at 4 performing, singing songs, and pre-recorded videos throughout the week. Make sure you subscribe, ring the bell to be notified. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. The reveal on Friday will come of the acoustic guitars I compared. So go on to that video now if you haven't already. It's Martin versus Maton versus Rainsong, and choose which one you think is the carbon guitar, and let me know your order of preference. Because on Friday, I'm going to put all those results together and do a big video about what people thought and why I think they thought those things. So that'll be cool too. Thanks, David. Appreciate it. Bye, Lewis. Thanks, Tone Guy. Tone Guy, we're now leaving. We've been here for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Has it really been that long? It has. I just love talking about gear. All right, thanks for watching. So if you're shopping right now, hold on. Wait for me to review this stuff. And I guess I'm talking to Lewis right now. And I'll let you know what I find out, okay? Yeah. And if you want to support the channel, use the affiliate links when you make your order. I really would appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care and bye-bye.
Meet me at the station at midnight. Wear your high heels, your red dress, and your smile. You look just like this other girl I knew. She was beautiful. And if you want to, maybe we can stay a little longer, stay a little longer. Yeah, we'll dance all stand alone. They got no place to go. We can start another kind of love, one without consequence.